Good evening, everybody. Just wanted to do a quick live tonight because right now I'm kind of I just got back. Well, I got back earlier from Atlanta and saw my cardiologist. Quick update on that. Yeah, it went the way I thought it would. So in January, I got a lot of lead up to it, but I have to do what they call an aortic valve replacement. It's not a bad thing. There's not open heart surgery. It's a way they do it through catheters. That's a possibility, but I have to see if I qualify for that. So I'm waiting on that right now. I'm just starting this live because it's going to be a long rant, and I did want to do a video, and I figure I could put this up on YouTube later. If you guys catch up to this live, fine. If not, I'll post it up on YouTube. It will be on TikTok if they'll let me update it. I had a lot of problems downloading stuff lately on lives. So this is kind of I refer to as an after action report. A lot of things have happened. A lot of things that happened in the last 24 to 48 hours. And we're going to backtrack it. Now, if you haven't seen my podcast with Mike, the Rational Boomer, I did that last night, and it's up on YouTube. Check it out. If you and we kind of discuss a lot of things I want to kind of follow up on today. A couple things I want to talk about because we know what the big deal is. The big problem issue is, and that is the Epstein files and the Epstein case and all that. Now, this has been going on for quite a while, and let's be honest, Mike Johnson was trying to keep control over it hey, Bren, how you doing, girl? Good to see you. Has been talking about trying to control it. We've seen all that. And to the point that Trump finally, it's kind of funny to watch as he realized that his normal bullshit wasn't going to work. His intimidation, asking, Johnson's days may be numbered, as Bren says. Possibly, but the only thing with that, Bren, who's going to replace him? I mean, who wants that job? Do you want to hurt those cats? Honestly. I mean, they're not going to vote for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Clay Higgins, no. I mean, I can't think of any names. Steve Scalise? The whip? Now, Steve Scalise would last 5 seconds in that world. He'd be DOA. And so also, if you want to come up and guest ask me, I haven't done the guest thing. Hopefully it'll work. But, so right now, Brett said MTG is being sketchy. Something's up. He's trying for survival here in Georgia. Believe it or not, that election on Tuesday scared the piss on him. That a couple back early in November, because it showed that this state is really purple, and she's gonna have to figure out what she's gonna do or lose her seat, and she's still looking to get some kind of state wide office here, and it ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen at all. So it came to a head this weekend, the weekend before, when Trump when he knew, after they signed that discharge petition, they really thought they still can control the narrative. You could tell you could tell with the remarks by Grinder Mike Johnson what he wanted. He thought he could control it. By the way, if you're watching this, hearts would be appreciated. Any gifts, I appreciate it. So they can get me out in the FYP a little bit, and maybe we can get some more visitors. If you are MAGA and I find you here, I will block you. I'm not going to debate you. I'm not going to talk to you because we have nothing in common. I'm not one of these guys who come on the live says, MAGA, tell me why you love Trump. I ain't doing it. Because I could tell you that myself. I could do a Watch Mojo list on that. Top 10 why people still support Trump. I mean, with 50 honorable mentions. So I don't do that. What I want to do is, what I do here is, some people are somewhat of like mind. If they have questions, if I can give them a little more context of what's going on, I do the best I can. I always try to look at things that way. I'm not a fully educated man, but I ain't a dumb one. And so we try to look at things in certain perspectives. And from my perspective, which is really, I'm not, what's the word, classy, and I can't be uncouth, but I try to tone it down here because after three accounts for TikTok, I'm finding out that you just have to chill, but still make your points. So it brings us back to the history of what's going on. They did not. Yeah, Brett, I'm going to get to that. Do you think it's going to be released? I'm getting to that because I got some thoughts, especially after today. They didn't think when Trump went to reverse psychology. Trust me, this guy's not the brightest bulb, right? We know that. Everyone thinks that Trump is doing 3D chess. No, he's just doing something that's worked forever. So the first thing he tried was intimidation. Intimidation is what he always uses, okay? He did that trying to force people not to vote for the discharge petition. He brought in Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene to, try to, well, not Marjorie Taylor, but Lauren Boebert, trying to squeeze her to see if he can get her. But even she wouldn't go that way, which I found disturbing and surprising at the same time. And so once it came to the weekend, he went to more threats. I'm going to primary you. You're all rhinos, blah, 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 blah. It's all a Democratic hoax. And then right through the middle of the weekend, Trump goes, yeah, go ahead and vote what you want. Because he already knew he had at least 50 to 60 Republicans that were going to be, that were going to vote for it. So they thought they could handle 50, 60 Republicans. Because it still would be a split house. Okay? What they did not count on, including Mike Johnson, and I'll tell you why this failed for Mike Johnson, was a 427 to 1 vote. That shocked the shit out of them, both Johnson and Trump. And why did that happen? I'll tell you why it happened. Because Mike Johnson thought he was being slick. We saw the victims' news conference with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, cool. Got it. So we saw that. It was moving. It was everything you expected to be. So what does Mike Johnson have? He has an opposing one with even charts. And he says he's going to vote for it. And then he says, but we want to redact it, or we want to make sure that all the innocent men, remember, all the innocents that are in the files do not get exposed because they are victims of Jeffrey Epstein like the women. Yeah, he frickin' said that. He said that. With charts, we try to protect, and everyone looked at him and said, oh, hell no. Because if you voted against the discharge petition, you were supporting that. You were supporting that. So what did they do? They said, no, we're going to vote for it. And everyone voted for it except Clay Higgins. But he's he once assaulted someone asking questions of another congressperson and got attacked, but attacked him and got away with it. So that's what was the impetus. And then he went to the Senate, and then Mike Johnson went with phase 2, telling the Senate, it's not a great bill. I voted for it, but maybe we go in there and make some changes, redact some stuff, make some amendments to it, send it back to the House, and then we'll do another vote. The problem with that's what he thought he would get, okay? But he also went off to that Saudi Arabian dinner. Quick side note, okay? Nothing says I don't give a damn about your economic problems or whether or not you have food, clothing, shelter, etc., than that type of black tie dinner with gold everywhere. For a crown prince of Saudi Arabia who is a known murderer, who literally ordered an assassination of a Washington Post reporter, Khashoggi. And it wasn't just a killing, it was torture and dismemberment. It was horrid. And when Trump was asked about it in the White House, he defended him. He defended him and said that he had nothing to do with it. I don't care what the intelligence, what American intelligence is saying. American intelligence had said that. American intelligence had said that. So damn. Oh, damn. So what does he have? He has this huge black tie dinner with all the usual suspects, all the rich people, all, trying to suck up to the Saudis for Saudi money. Because, and, hey, how's it doing, Eric? Eric, the Analytical Eye one, has joined us. So cool. Hi, Eric. How you doing?
Hey, Will.
Hey, how you doing?
Not too bad. How about
Good.
you?
I'm hanging in there. I got back from the doctor and told me I have to become a bionic man in a couple of months, but it's better than that.
Oh,
So
yeah?
yeah, I'd got to get a aortic valve replaced. They explained it all to me. So I mean, it's better than dying. So but it is what it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
uh, but so we were talking about the Epstein and all that, and one thing, and you probably heard my thing with Mike, because Mike brought up the possibility of a pocket veto. Okay, and I really thought he would do it. What I've forgotten with a pocket veto that if it goes pocket veto, they can't do an override because according to the Constitution, there was no way to do override because the objections by the president wasn't heard by the House because it wasn't in session. But he signed it, and I'm going to ask you because I
Right.
was
But
going
the
to
way
get
they
to
get,
this.
well, the
Why
way
did
they
he
get over,
sign it?
I don't know, other than he thought maybe they've got some plan to scrub the files and that's going to be their plan. But there is a way around the pocket veto. And it is
Oh,
something the
explain.
House does anyway. They don't go on recess. They take 3 days off at a time. They do the pro forma
Oh,
sessions. They even
oh,
when they're gone, like for their August recess, where they're out the entire month, they come in every 3 days and they have one member. I'm gonna pick on say Marjorie Taylor Greene. She comes in, gavels it in, and goes, "Well, but since we assume everybody's here, if there are no objections, we're done for the day. We'll be back in 3 days." Gavels out,
so they still have
and
sessions.
that prevents that
Oh,
they never
cool.
fully go into recess. They're still in session, and they do that in part not so much in the House but in the Senate to prevent recess appointments. Because if the Senate's out
Oh,
on a
okay.
recess, the president,
Hmm.
this case Donald Trump, could come in and go, "Hey, this got positions open. You're there," and they could have the position up until the end of the current Congress, and then Congress would have to act at some point to approve. Supreme
Right.
Court has ruled on those that small breaks, like 3 days, is not long enough to be deemed a recess. So to not give power to other
Oh,
branches of government, they keep doing these 3 day breaks. It's all about maintaining congressional power. And as we know, what is what politicians love more than anything? Power.
it's power. And I think what, as we were talking about
Mm-hmm.
everything that's gone down, that Mike Johnson and Donald Trump have been holding on to the leashes of Republicans forever. Okay. They didn't expect them to break like that. That was an absolute ridiculous break. That was shocking. You saw that on Mike Johnson's face. And the worst thing about that was was when let me get back to it, when Chuck Schumer let them do the unanimous vote. He expected the Democrats in the House to do the same thing. I'm sorry, Democrats in the Senate with this did in the House, and bam, not working. And they did. And you heard him when he came out of that dinner, Saudi Arabia dinner. Oh, Chuck Schumer, he did this. Yeah, he did this. He did it to you. Now you're stuck.
Yes.
While Eric's here, I've got Rebecca and her better half. Well, no, she's the better half of TJ the plumber. Hey, TJ, what's up, brother?
He just walked downstairs. He might be a second.
Yo, what up?
Okay, how you doing?
I'm good.
I want to
Hey,
ask
TJ.
you about something that happened in Minnesota in a few
Rebecca.
minutes. I wanted you to take on that.
Hi, guys.
Okay.
Real quick side note, guys. I just want to ask because I meant to get to you about this, the Amber Check tragedy. You're in the trades. I was in
Yeah.
the union. I mean, my God, why did they let it get that far? I heard that she went to HR 5 times, and they ignored her.
Um,
I
I don't really know that much about it, but what I do know is that, you know, most of the job sites that are regulated by like agreements that are
Right.
union, I've had more than one member run off a job for sexual harassment. You know what I mean? So
yes,
I'm only imagining that this job was probably non-union, and they don't play by the rules. Let's just put it that way.
oh God. Well, that's
Because
going to cost them. That was such a tragedy. That broke my heart. I heard that.
yeah, it's terrible. But you know, I recently I had a guy that I sent him as a traveler to another area, and he did or said something to a woman that he shouldn't have said, and then they kicked his ass off the job. I mean, there's when it's a union site, it's zero tolerance. I'm
Good.
just letting you know. They don't fuck
That's good
around
to
with
hear.
that. Same
Yeah,
thing with
because that was sad.
with the drug usage too. Like if you get caught on a piss test or whatever, you're gone. It's over.
Do you
You know.
guys
So,
have like in New York City where my business is located? Do you guys have mandatory? Um, it's not sexual harassment. It's sexual conduct, I guess. Training. Do you guys have that here?
oh, you
Like in
mean as
other
part of the?
states?
I mean, I went through it in my job every year. We talk about that.
Are
Yeah.
you asking? Are you asking me?
Well, just in general, like in other states, do you have like in New York City? We have basic sexual harassment training that everybody is supposed to go through every year that works in any company.
No, that's not a thing here, but it's usually owner specific. Like if Amazon's building a building, they're going to have that as part of their requirements. So the
Right.
construction manager then has to go through and tell all the contractors, all your employees have to get this training. It's mandatory. It's usually the end user that implements that.
So it's company specific.
It's
Yeah.
job specific.
Yeah. Okay.
There's nothing here in Iowa that's mandatory like that, where it is state mandated that I'm aware of. But every employer I've worked for, and listening to friends who have worked for places I never have, especially when they just get started, they always complain about the same thing. Why does every employer make us go through it? And I come back with the same answer. It's A, so you don't do any of the things they're telling you to do it, or that they're telling you not to do, I should say. And B, it covers
Right.
their ass when you do.
hmm Yeah, and I just brought it up as a side note because it really was disturbing, and it again. This is that to me. That's a product of the toxic masculinity that's leaked
Right.
back in from all the bullshit. Because it starts with Pete Hesketh not wanting women in the military, and I'm
Right.
like going, like the SEAL, the woman who a captain in the SEALs,
Yeah.
not giving her command, Purple Heart.
Right.
And dude, I want you to do one day at Bud's in Coronado Island. survived 1 day of that training. That
Well,
woman went through it, and that's just disgusting. These people, they're
and
not men. They're
another
fakes.
another thing about the construction, any self-respecting contractor, okay? When you get hired on in their union, they make you go through orientation with their company, and almost every single one that I've ever seen, they have safety and then they have harassment. Like that's part of the
Hmm.
training. Like you get that training on day one, So every big contractor I've ever dealt with has that sort of training. So I'm imagining whatever happened. They were just like rummy contractors that were pieces of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's sad though. So I just want to do that quick because I saw we had. I wanted to get to you about it, but I've been busy. So Eric and I were discussing Trump signing the bill to release the Epstein files, and I thought we were talking about pocket veto. I thought he was going to pocket veto his mother. All right, but I was bringing up Eric, and I was going to let you know my point. Why? He can't get out of this, right? There's no way they can't release it.
The only two things I can think of that either they have done enough scrubbing of what the DOJ is going to release that his name and other people's names will not be mentioned, and they're going to try to do something shady like that. And I haven't read the text of the law. I've just seen other creators saying that there is stuff in the law that limits their ability to do that. And of course, Donald Trump doesn't care about the law. They'll
Hmm.
walk right through it. But remember, at some point, Donald Trump will not be president. Whether the Big Mac gets him this year, next year, whether 2029 happens, and we just get the next administration, he's not going to be president at some point. And when that happens, everybody below him, everybody that has been, helping him, if it's a Democratic president and they put in somebody better than goddamn Merrick Garland, they are going to look into all of this, and there will be tons of criminal charges coming.
And the thing though is like
Tons.
they're saying. I mean, they talked to Pam Bondi, and she, yeah, Bundy, ugh. But it almost fits. Pam Bondi, and she's kind of hinting because they can open the investigation on the Democrats for the hoax that's now a case that they may hold back releasing the files because it's part of a case. I don't think she's going to get away with that.
There
I
will,
mean,
if she attempts it, I could fully see there being Freedom of Information Act lawsuits about
right.
it. And one of the things I brought up in both my podcast and on my TikToks is when they do that, they could bring up Donald Trump's open post on Truth Social about open this
Oh,
investigation. And that could pierce the veil of, hey, there's an investigation going, because you could have a judge looking at going, yeah, this investigation looks like a sham. We don't buy that as a defense. It's entirely possible that judges could rule against the administration based on just
right.
that. And then, speaking of Truth Social posts and getting Donald Trump in trouble or this administration in trouble, did you hear about what came out with the James Comey case?
Oh yeah, go ahead, inform everyone. I was about ready to pop, open some champagne on that one because stupid is
Uh,
and stupid does. My God, go ahead.
the article I read said this Halligan, the attorney, the indictments that she turned into the court were not the same ones that were voted on by the grand jury. So now, technically, district attorneys and stuff, they do not need grand juries to bring indictments. They can do it on their own. They only do it for high-profile cases. But I think this changes the idea and how the court is going to look at this indictment. Going, wait a minute, you're saying the grand jury brought these charges, but this isn't the version they voted on. Oh, something here is fishy, and they may toss it out yet.
Yeah, they may toss her with it.
She could get disbarred.
Yeah, see, the thing about it is like these people are incompetent. She's never tried a case. She's a fucking insurance lawyer. An insurance lawyer, okay? And someone who works in a business, you don't do trials because insurance lawyers, they have specialty lawyers. We do. We have that. Hey, JD was hanging. And so, but federal judges, when you get into their court, that's their fiefdom. That's their world. I own this court. You walk into a federal court and do that to a judge, literally lie to his face. Oh no, James, and then they turned it over to James Comey's defense, and they're saying, yeah, we're being victimized. He's going to go with that. This case is done. There's no way back from this. No way.
Yeah, it's going to get
Absolutely.
thrown out.
I believe the defense said, quote, there is no indictment.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
They were up against the statute of limitations. Like they had only a couple days to bring the charges they brought now. If this gets dismissed the right way, based on how James Comey could ask for it, and I get them backward all the time. I don't remember which way is which. Either we'll get it dismissed with or without prejudice. I think without is the one where they can't bring the charges again. And I think that's the way it's read, but it's one or the other anyway.
No, it with prejudice is they can't bring the charges.
See, I get them backward all the time. I always forget. But anyway, they'll rule on it probably saying, you know what, you screwed up. We're not letting you charge him again.
Nope. Yeah,
Just-
it would be. Go ahead, TJ. Sorry.
Oh, go on.
No, you were going to say. Go ahead.
I lost it.
Okay. But it's going to be. Here's the thing. Why are these guys trying? Why is someone like her in federal court trying this case? It's simple. Because the court, they tried to drop it to a federal prosecutor, and they said no and quit. I ain't touching this because there's no there. So they got fired because they said there's no there. And now this crazy woman's in. Go ahead. I'm sorry, TJ. Go ahead.
No, I'm laughing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Now she's in there, and like I said, it's done. And so that same thing for Letitia James. This thing, there's something going on in Florida with another fake lawyer who's trying to come up with a conspiracy RICO thing against Obama and the former CIA head about the Russia investigation. That is going to fall apart too, because that's already been done. There's already proof. Okay? The only reason it wasn't prosecuted is because of the Attorney General at the time, William Barr. All right? And also, I don't know where they find these federal prosecutors who don't have any balls to do anything. And that guy's report, what was the name of that guy? I just lost his name. The original report?
The Mueller report.
Mueller report. Yeah, that was all. In the Mueller report, it was so convoluted, no wonder William Barr could do what he wanted. It was not to the point. It was convoluted.
Well,
It was pathetic.
I think personally one of the reasons why we have some of these attorneys. Now, attorneys are well paid typically, but you got to admit, her being an insurance attorney, it sounds like she didn't have a whole lot of experience. Maybe she wasn't that well paid, and somebody who knew of her or knew her personally or whatever went, hey, we can bring her in as this district attorney. And now she's in a government gig with government insurance and better pay, chance of a lifetime, right? They took it. And that's how they get some of these people.
Right.
Other
And also, let's be honest. You seen a picture of her?
No.
I have. She's Donald Trump's type.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say that.
What, a clone of Ivanka?
Pretty much.
Blonde
Pretty
hair,
much,
blue
yeah,
eyes,
honestly.
hot chick. Yeah.
All right. And so
Yeah.
that's all. I mean, it's just, but and then that's another thing that we were talking about why everyone voted. They're starting to see Trump's power break. It's starting to break little by little. Well, on the Republican Party, because they're starting to see this end game is not going to go well for them. It's not.
I
Um,
have been making a prediction,
Go ahead.
and I think the files, especially if they try funny business, this is going to be the bridge too far for Republicans. This could lead to a Republican-led impeachment and removal of Donald Trump.
Is that a good thing, though?
Yes.
In
I
what way? And the
I
only
agree.
reason I'm saying what's going to be left over. Go ahead, TJ.
I agree with Eric. I think he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
I do too.
Here's a couple of the things I'm looking at, and I think they will go to Donald Trump, and they will offer him a Nixon deal. Maybe not right away. Now we're talking several weeks down, maybe even a couple months down the road, maybe midsummer. I mean, it's not going to. I don't think it'll happen quick, and I could be wrong on the time frame. But they'll go to him and say, "Okay, we've got the votes. We're going to remove you, but if you resign, we'll leave you alone." And maybe he does it. I don't think his personality would let him resign in disgrace.
No.
But what I'm saying is, if before the
Thank you,
midterms, if the Republicans lead the investigation, or they lead an impeachment against Donald Trump in the House, and they bring articles in the House with a Republican-led House and Senate against a Republican president, they're not going to do it unless they have the votes ahead of time in the Senate. But what I'm thinking they're looking at doing is going ahead of the midterms, removing Donald Trump, setting up J.D. Vance, and then having this sympathetic narrative they can run going into the midterms of, well, see, J.D. just got in there as president. He's got to fix the problems that Donald Trump left him. He was doing an okay job, but J.D. Vance has really got to fix everything and finish fixing all of the things Biden screwed up, and he can't do that if the Democrats have control of Congress. So you got to give us 2 more years.
No. You think that will work with the electorate?
Or they're going to wait until after the midterms, remove Donald Trump, and then if the Democrats have control of Congress, again set JD up, and then go into 28 going, well, see, Democrats have control of Congress. You got to give him 2 more years, or give him another term, and give us Congress back, so he can really get to work and fix all the problems again from Joe Biden. I don't think it'll work, but that's the best they've got. They don't have a good narrative.
Yeah, so that brings me to the one narrative that everyone keeps missing. The economy's shit. Let's be blunt, okay? And they're lying about it every day. I mean, that speech he did in front of franchise owners McDonald's was absolutely trash. And if I hear one more time about all the trillions of dollars of tariffs, where's the money? Where's my money? I mean, I feel like Stewie in Family Guy. Where's my money? Where's my money, man?
Yeah, right.
Where's my money? You got to 5 to give me my money.
He knocks him down the stairs. Yeah.
I mean,
But-
because that's the thing. Let's be honest. The reason they're fighting SNAP, the reason you see all this kind of machinations in the background, they spent that money. Our money's gone somewhere.
Agreed.
And there's no audits because they got rid of all the auditors. They got rid of all the IGs. And we're like sitting there going, where's the money? I mean, did you hear the deal that Hendricks Motors got for the vehicles that ICE is using? How much they got paid? $2.5 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah, that was the rescue fund right there.
Yeah.
Um,
And then
I
the
wanna-
FEMA director quit. So God help us if there's a natural disaster. This is, I mean, it seems to be spinning out of its control. So
Oh, it is. One of the other things I've been saying is when the Democrats get control, and I don't know if they can do it just by getting control of Congress and launching a congressional investigation because Congress has the power of the purse, or if
yes,
they need the presidency because the president controls the Treasury. Because Congress has to approve spending the money, but the executive branch controls the Treasury. They control the bank. So I don't know if they need both or what, but they need to go through and do what Doge should have been, which is a full forensic audit of the government. Figure out where the money went, and if the money was taken or misappropriated or whatever, all those responsible can and should be charged.
Yeah, I mean, it will be after, it won't be under this DOJ. Quick note, if you're watching his likes, we'll push it out to the FYP. Any gifts would be appreciated. But moving on. But see, the thing about it is, with the economy, it's kind of like right now, it's a rumbling volcano. We hear the signs. We feel the earthquakes, the layoffs, the job losses. The stock market is starting to feel it. Banks still asking for liquidity. Okay, and you're starting to percolate up, but he's sitting on top of the volcano, sitting and his ass in the hole, going, everything's fine, everything looks good. Don't ignore what's going on there. You know how my stomach is. Just let it go.
Yeah, he's like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain.
Yes.
Yes, but he's sitting on top of the volcano.
Yeah.
And the problem is, when it goes, we're talking about a crash that could rival the 29 crash. That's how bad that could be.
Well, I'm sure
And
you've
that's
heard
scary.
me talk with Mike about it. One of the things I have said, and I've been saying this for a while since he got elected, is that, he ran on this idea that if Harris got elected, she was going to put us in a 1929 style depression. Now, obviously, that wasn't going to happen. He's the one that's at risk of putting us in a 29 style depression. But if the Democrats message correctly and they come out with somebody similar to an FDR, with an FDR style message, and they do things FDR style of taking care of the common person and making sure people can eat, they can afford to live, they can pay their bills, etc. down the line. They could have control of Washington, D.C. for a generation.
Like FDR did.
You can turn several generations against the Republican Party, and it would take them a long time to regroup. But that could actually be beneficial to the Republican Party, because having the Democrats in control for that long will give them time to rebrand and rebuild outside of the influence of Donald Trump, et cetera, and get completely away from that negative connotation that everyone has.
The message is now mayor of New York City, or about to be mayor of New York City in a couple months. And that's the message, because he explained his stuff on a level that people would understand. The problem we had with Democrats, they keep talking policy and numbers and this. He explained it on the root level. That's why people bought it. That's why people understood it. And also he continues, and we're all talking about, I'm talking about Zoran Mandami. If you didn't understand, then who I'm talking about. He keeps doing it, and the people who are opposing him are showing how much a man of the people is. Two examples. One, when the Veterans Parade, where was Mandami? They were all complaining. They came up, why isn't he in the parade? I don't know. Maybe he was at a veterans home talking to veterans and feeding them. That looked better. That's meeting the people. He was at a shelter feeding people the other day. They asked him, have you met with Mayor Adams for the transition? When he gets back, where's Adams? In fucking Israel, saying that I served you well. I thought you were mayor of New York, not mayor of Tel Aviv. And that's the message. I think, like Graham Panther, they try to get him. They're not going to get him because he's saying the same message. Hakeem Jeffries, his primary guy, sounds like Mandami. Okay? Kathy Hochul, who at first was trying to push against Mandami, her opponent is the lieutenant general Anthony Roboto, who sounds like Mondami. People want that. That's what we need. Because we see right now, by demonizing the poor, people are tired of it. It's not working, guys. It's not working because the people you demonize and people who bought your demonization are now poor and need
Yeah.
these things. So, welcome to hell.
Here in Iowa, we've got potentially the next governor, Rob Sand. He's a Democrat running for governor. He is the current only statewide elected Democrat, period. And one of the things he's running on, it's not so much the Mamdani message, that same message, but he keeps running on, why do we have to have a system and why are we dealing with, well, the best thing I can say is, well, I'm not them. They're awful. I'm better than they are. When it comes to politics, he goes, why is
Right.
it always the best of two choices? And I just got to be slightly better than they are. And that message, he's getting Republicans on board with it. And I think he's going to coast into being the next
Good.
governor because he's got a good message.
I think the Democratic Party. I think after the midterms, the Democratic Party is going to look very, very different than it does now.
Yes.
I think we're going to have. I think we're going to see a more progressive Democratic Party coming out of the midterms than we are going into.
You were going to say, Rebecca?
Oh, I
Rebecca,
said-
you going to say something?
I hope that JD's right. Like, I hope it's more progressive.
You know,
Right.
if JD's right, what we could see, everybody for right now assumes that when Democrats get the House back, it's a foregone conclusion that it is going to be Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker.
I don't think
And-
so.
Well, one of the things they could do is they could, and you know, Republicans had problems getting Kevin McCarthy 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, whenever that was. We could be facing our own battle to get a speaker because we may not have a unified voice behind somebody right away. But I think they're going to coalesce around somebody more progressive.
Right.
Probably.
And Trucker's joined us. Hey, Trucker, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm good, guys. How you doing?
Doing good.
Go ahead, Rebecca. You had a question?
No, I just said, hey, T.
Oh, hey,
As
T.
far as another option for speaker, and Mike and Tony brought this up last week on the podcast, and I think it'd be awesome. Jamie Raskin. I think he would be excellent as speaker.
Yeah, as long as he tamps down on that, we should put an olive branch out to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay? No. Let me make this clear for someone in Georgia. She is working this. Okay? Don't buy this. This is an act. She's looking for an out, and it worked for her this time. Trust me, in Georgia, I know what she's like. That's an act. But Raskin would be good, but the problem I have with him, JD, he's still kind of old school. And old school is tied to donor money politics. And they fear the progressive. Why? Because the donors, the rich donors, feed both sides. And they lose the Democratic side, they're saying, oh my God, we're going to raise our taxes 3%. How are we going to survive? I need that other yacht. God, geez, what am I going to do?
I think
I mean,
all valid concerns. I just think Raskin has the constitutional knowledge, and I think he's more of a fighter, and he fights differently than I think anyone else does.
Well, hey, hold on a second. Raskin's no dummy, okay? So when he's saying, play nice with Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's not because they want to be friends with her, it's because they want to use her.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm good with that. Play nice with her, let get the votes we need out of her, have her spearhead all the shit that we need her to do, and then when we're done with her, you just brush her into the sewer, and that's it.
That's how they
so
do it,
suck her
right?
dry and toss away her husk of a body. Got it. Makes sense.
That's it. Exactly.
That's how they do it, right?
Yes, T's correct. T
I'm,
is
I'm,
totally correct.
I
I'm
would
with
not
TJ on that
normally
one.
condone that with a woman, but with her, go for it.
It's a stretch to define her as a woman, but okay.
And that's here's a
The
good
Howling
question.
Yeti,
She's
baby.
married to with one of the most MAGA guys ever. This is a guy who asked about Zelensky's clothing.
Yeah,
Remember that guy?
motherfucker.
She's hanging with him. How's that household going right now?
I mean,
I
if
mean,
it's an act. I mean, you know,
Yeah, it's all an act. Like it's all about like how her
He's trying to
constituents
get that
receive her
Senate
right
seat.
now. She just wants to get votes. She doesn't give a shit about. She's not
She
really
wants,
for
she
real.
wants that Senate seat. That's all it is.
no, not happening. No. And the funny thing about it is, we were talking about progressive, what you were saying, Eric and TJ and JD and all that. Understand that the MAGA message of culture wars is dying. They can't run on that. The one that's running hard here in Georgia for the Senate seat against John Ossoff is Buddy Carter. He's running on the same bullshit.
I've seen
He's
that
running
guy.
on, yeah, he's running on closed borders, all the same bullshit. And you know how he ends his ads with "I am Trump approved" with a picture of Trump in front of it. That ain't
well,
gonna
that's
work here, and especially not against John Ossoff. He's DOA.
Hey, there's been something I've been saying for a number of years now. When you get an endorsement from Donald Trump, that's the kiss of death in your election. Because he hasn't been successful in many, let me tell you what.
yeah,
And
it's not going
the
to
fear of primaries failed. He didn't want those people to vote. So I'm going to primary you, and they still voted for it. They don't fear him anymore. You can see it. You can smell it out there.
Hey, ask those senators in Indiana how they feel about Trump. They're,
How did that happen, Trucker?
well,
How did that happen?
you mean
That
it's
is about as Republican as you can get is outside of Kentucky.
right? Well, here's what they said. They said, "Look, we don't need to do that, and we're not going to be bullied into telling us what to do." They said, "We just did this in 2021, and Trump is a lame duck president. I'm not losing my seat because he wants to do this." And they drew the line in the sand and told him to go pound it.
And he was not happy. He was very, the
Neither,
toddler got upset.
yeah, Mike Braun is still on the local news channels. Yeah, we're going to convene a special one just early, blah blah blah, and we just wish they would even talk to us. It got to the point now where they won't even talk to Braun. They're like, just go, bro, get out of here.
Wow. So basically, they stepped up, not like Texas, which the irony of Texas, oh, how did that go? Right into court to a Trump judge. Adios. Done. Oh, that's a mess.
Yeah. So Texas lost their 5 seats, and yet the California shit is still going ahead.
Because it was done right. That thing is,
Exactly.
they want to take it to court, but you can't take it to court. If you take it to court and you lose, and he takes this Texas thing to the Supreme Court, you cannot throw out the California one because you're doing this, saying that if Texas can do it, California can do it. I mean, they're screwed all the way around. They're really going to the Supreme Court would be the worst thing to do. The worst thing to do at this point.
Yeah,
So-
but they're going to try it. They're going to try it. The thing is, one of the things we were talking about with them trying to gerrymander Texas was that it could have backfired, and they could have cost them the 5 seats plus. It still might, if they've pissed off the electorate enough by doing this or without their consent, etc., and how people are mad. It may still cost them a seat or two in Texas because it may fire up the Democrats. There are more registered Democrats in Texas than registered Republicans. If they show up to vote, they could lose more seats than these 5 that they were trying to mess with.
And
Ask
even
Jace.
worse. Go ahead. Sorry, JD. Go ahead.
I was talking to Jace about this this morning. He seems to think that Democrats are going to kill it down there.
Well, did you see what Abbott did today? The other day, he declared some um Muslim group that handles like economic stuff. He declared them a terrorist organization, like he's president. I mean, he's still doing the same performative crap, thinking it's going to work in Texas. Same thing with Ken Paxton, who's going to run for Senate as a Republican. Good luck with that.
James
I mean,
Tallarico's going to kick his ass.
Well, isn't
I mean, if Paxton wins, he'll be the most hated senator. He'll
Oh,
take
yeah.
Ted Cruz's place, and that's hard to do
Yeah.
well,
because Ted
isn't,
Cruz is just.
is it James Corman? Isn't he running anyway for re-election? Isn't Paxton just trying to primary him?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
John Cornyn is still running, but he's not very well liked from what I understand. But see, neither is Paxton. So like, what do you pick? Door number 1 or door number 2, and you fucking hate both of them.
But as was it Al Franken that said, I can't stand. I like that motherfucker about as well as I like Ted Cruz, and I fucking hate Ted Cruz.
Yeah, I mean Ted.
I mean, then you got door number 3 of Ted Cruz, so and they
Yeah,
keep voting for him. So
And then there's James Tallarico, who seems to be actually fairly popular.
Yeah, but every time it's fairly popular, when push comes to shove, these people vote R, and that's still a concern we have to. I'm hoping that the dynamic has changed,
Yeah.
that people now understand what's at K, because I'm still hoping that what happened earlier this month carries over, because what happened here in Georgia, and everyone has to understand, those public commissioners posts have been owned by Republicans for 25 years. They don't. The last time I saw an election for them, there was one name, a Republican on it. Okay, the Democrats won that in a statewide election in Georgia, 2-1, 60-30. It was for both elections, and they switched seats and they flipped seats in the Mississippi Senate. So the question now is that a good? Is that a warrant? Is that a good sign, or was it a fluke? Because I hope it's not the latter.
it's a warning sign to Republicans and Democrats, even though they did give in on the on funding the government, and they didn't get the ACA extension yet. They made their point, and when they made that olive branch to the Republicans and saying, "Hey, we'll get you through it with 1 year. All you have to do is give us 1 year of ACA subsidies," and they said that's a bridge too far. I think that's why the Democrats ultimately gave in and agreed to open the government, because nothing was going to be good enough other than them doing it. So they got what they could get out of it, which was like extending SNAP benefits and doing things like that for when they do try to push down the road. It doesn't hurt everyday Americans nearly as bad. And I just think it's all going to snowball on Republicans. And now with the files going to be released, and as we're digging into that over the course of the next month, the momentum is in the Democrats' favor as long as they can capitalize.
Yeah, the one thing we're talking about, I was talking about a redaction with Mike last night when I did the podcast, and the thing about it, people have already talked about redaction. They might take out names, but there are some really sharp people, especially journalists, who can go in there and put pieces together. Okay, and the example I gave was that, have you ever seen Hidden Figures, where they told the one character, we need numbers on the Redstone rocket? So she tried to get the all the parameters on the Redstone rocket, but they wouldn't give. They gave it to her redacted. Okay, so what she did, she held it up to the light and got the numbers. She ended up, almost being arrested, and they're saying you're a traitor. And the Kevin Costner character, how'd you find it? He goes, I held it up to the light. He did, and that's what they're going to do. If you try to strip that, people will go in there and start putting pieces together. They will find out who it is, and that's going to be worse.
Well, not only
I
that,
really
but,
think so.
yeah. I mean, you can't redact as much as they want to redact without like completely changing the entire story. just about.
Um,
Not only
well,
that,
my,
but if
Good.
you read the verbiage of the bill that was passed into law, they made it so that they can't redact anything without explaining to Congress exactly why they redacted it.
So that was the amendments Mike Johnson was looking for to get that out of the bill. Because
Yeah.
that whole act of trying to sell that the men's names on there made them such as victims as the women themselves was I just wow. Really? You thought that would work?
Yeah.
Well, don't forget that Stefanik said that she spent the weekend going over those files, so she knows what's in them.
At least Stefanik?
Yeah, the senator from oh, maybe she's a congresswoman, I forget, but from New
From New
Mexico.
York. Running
No,
for New York governor.
well, the lady from New Mexico with the red hair.
Oh, that doesn't narrow down. Someone quick, go look who that
She's
is.
the congresswoman, I think, for New Mexico, right? Albuquerque.
Okay, so what did she see, Trucker?
She
She
said,
saw the names, or
yeah, she said they spent the entire weekend going over the files, and she was saying that she was talking about a 13-year-old girl with DT. I mean, all of that stuff. So she was talking to Michael
speaking,
Steele about it.
yeah, speaking of blowing stuff up, now things are starting to come out. Did you heard about the phone call that's supposed to be leaked now between Trump and Crown Prince MBS Saudi Arabia after the Khashoggi assassination? This was back in
Yeah.
2019, and apparently Vindman has got a hold of it. It's congressman, and they're talking about releasing it. And a lot of people are saying, why would they didn't release it then? You have to understand, you're starting to see these leaks and these releases because his power just got broke.
Yeah.
You don't fear him anymore. And now it's based. Go ahead, JD.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
floodgates are opening.
yeah. It's
It's
like
just
the
gonna be
bull. They've been
it's just gonna be
people. Go ahead.
it's just gonna be a fire hose of shit all aimed right at Donald Trump for the next however many years.
I mean, could you imagine? It's like to me when I'm thinking of you got a bull, and people have been mad, and they keep sticking the picadors in them, and now it's going to be hot and heavy because they don't fear the bull anymore. And if you don't fear the bull, all this stuff's going to come out because he can't do anything to you,
Well,
and that's what's really I think scaring the hell out of him in there.
well, one of the things, we were talking earlier about my theory that they're going to impeach and remove Donald Trump. And I know a lot of people are saying, why would Republicans move on it? Well, they need to rebrand and get away from Donald Trump, etc. But using the files and with all of this shit that's coming out now, this is going to be the thing that they can potentially make that move on Donald Trump and break with him and not lose those MAGA voters. The ones that are hardcore MAGA, they might be able to bring them back into the Republican fold. If this
Yeah,
stuff wasn't being released, if these things weren't being leaked, and all of this, and as this dam breaks, they're going to be able to say, this is why we did what we did, this is why we broke from it, etc. And
right.
then hopefully keep them in the voting for Republicans, because otherwise they'll just never vote again. Oh, you
Yeah,
turned on the
well,
Lord and Savior.
that's the same thing I said to Mike the other day on Substack when we did. This is their last chance. If they don't break with him now, while they have an excuse, they're fucking finished, and they know it. So now they're
So
all
does that
rallying together and saying, "We better do something now, because if we don't, we're going to be doomed."
is that why they're pressing ICE more now? Because that's the only thing these people still love is the ethnic cleansing we're seeing right now in Charlotte and everywhere.
Well,
Because
yeah,
they seem to be an uptick on ICE right now.
all the MAGAs in Traileropolis love all that shit, so they're going to
Well,
still keep hammering that.
well, no, I think the ICE, though, I think that's getting pushed by this administration and Donald Trump as a show of strength, as a show of force. of, oh well, look at what I've got my ICE agents here. You know, we'll get rid of you if you don't side with us. And it's not going to keep working. The culture war bullshit works with a certain group, and that's about it. Everybody else is sick of it, and but he's out of he's out of place. His playbook is empty.
Right. Well, there's
Right.
one thing I want to bring up about ICE. ICE is finding out that North Carolina is an open carry state,
Now connected to Chromebook _F50.
and that is not working well for them. That one video of the lady, the 79-year-old lady coming out with her weapon and telling them to get the hell out of her yard. And I've seen a lot of videos where ICE is threatening people, saying that them having a gun. There was one video, the guy's up there open carry. He goes, "You're carrying a weapon, you're a threat." He goes, "No, brother, this is open carry. This is stand your ground. I can do this. You have no right to take this from me." They're getting pressed, and I see a lot of these guys are starting to see fear in their eyes. That's why they're going after the softest targets. They raided 25 churches on Sunday. 25
Yeah.
churches. That's sick because they have no cowards, all of them.
Well, prior to this administration, churches, daycares, schools, and hospitals, I believe, there might have been one more group, were all deemed off limits to immigration enforcement or police enforcement, you know, without exigent circumstances. Like if you're going in looking for somebody specific for a specific reason, that's one thing. But you couldn't just go interrupt Sunday service at a church, or you couldn't just go into the daycare, round up everybody. This administration,
Without warrants.
well,
There's
this
no probable
administration
cause
looked
other
at
than
that guy.
we think we might find someone there. And that is so many violations of the civil rights, of our constitutional rights, that even people are starting to realize, yeah, that's messed up. They're not all illegal aliens they're picking up. I saw that Tory Lohan's bullshit that, you know, Charlotte shut down. Charlotte shut down. People don't want to go out. Okay? And she's going, that proves that there are nothing but a bunch of leeches out there, leeching off the American society. No, lady, it's because people are scared to damn death. Because these people are arbitrary. There are people honking at them, yelling at them that they're arresting on general principle, but basically because they're all a bunch of cowards. And when they talk shit, have you seen the eyes of those people when people talk shit to them? They're
Terrified.
getting to them. They're terrified, and also some of it hits home, especially when they start talking about their mothers. And oh man, they just, oh wow, and then and then they talk about their size of their, you know what's, oh yeah, they go hardcore. But what bothers me and will always bother me to this day is that I saw a video where this guy ICE was trying to arrest this lady because apparently she honked at him. She said, "That's intimidation. You're interrupting with our law enforcement." No, they're not. But it was a black ICE agent and a Hispanic black agent. You guys do know they don't like you, right? You do know. Yeah, you do know that when this all falls apart, you're the first one. You're the first one they're going to drag across. They'll toss you out first as sacrificial lambs. And I mean, I watch these guys, and it's all about, I finally get to beat up people legally. That's all it is. They arrested a woman in a freaking wheelchair yesterday for protesting. I mean, the toughest targets, guys? How does this look? But they don't care. I mean, and that I'm hoping that this is a sign that that's getting bad too. Or am I reaching? I'm hoping that makes sense. Because I can't see they keep this up all the time. It just doesn't make sense to me. And it hurts. Go ahead, Jamie.
It's not sustainable. I mean,
No.
first of all, they're idiots. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing. But people are just, eventually they're going to reach, we're going to get to a point where people just say enough. Stop it.
Well, again, this is North Carolina is an open carry state. Something's going to happen. And it's not because these ICE guys have been, look, there was a good example of it. They shot a woman in Chicago 5 times. That ICE agent fled to Maine. They're looking for him for arrest.
Yeah.
Okay. So he can't find, that cover isn't working. Also, one incident in Chicago, right? ICE was there. There was a drive-by. They missed the ICE agents, but that was a warning. And they're not going into the Vadios. They're not going to the south side of Chicago. They're not going. You know how Memphis dried out? Because you don't want to go into Memphis. Cops don't want to go into Memphis. There are parts of Memphis you don't want to be in. And they're not going. I mean, this is an attack on working Hispanics. And that's the problem with these guys right now. I mean, and like I said, I don't think it's going to work for them. I think it's going to fail miserably. But I don't know how many people are going to suffer. Have you guys heard about the detention service? What they did in a court case against that detention center in Illinois, outside Chicago? I mean, it's horrific. And you have no phone calls. There's no oversight. And you got the private prisons making money off these bodies. Again, Eric, like you said, when they do the investigations, it's going to get ugly very fast. They're not going to be able to cover that. They can't. Kristi Noem can't cover that. There's no way.
They're hoping that Donald Trump will give them some kind of a blanket pardon on his way out the door. Problem is that they're expecting he's going to make it to the end of his term. He's not. He's not well.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the Republicans themselves, they're looking at it going, okay, we got to get it. We're going to have to get rid of this guy at some point. That is coming.
And so what do they do with J.D. Vance? So if that happens, J.D. Vance, I do not see J.D. Vance able to hold this thing together.
He won't be, but he's going to be their sacrificial lamb. They're going to run him in 2028 as long as he wants to run. If not, you're going to have somebody. And I don't know who the somebody could be. I know Ted Cruz is floating out an idea of a 2028
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
run, which they may sacrifice Ted Cruz because, like we said, nobody likes Ted Cruz. Marjorie Taylor Greene is hinting at wanting to run for something bigger. Maybe they run her. Who knows? They'll run, but they won't run anybody who can win. As long as the Democrats run somebody decent, they're going to win in 28. What the Republicans are wanting to set up for, I think, at least, and this is how I would think if I was a Republican strategist. Run J.D. Vance, have him take over, try to do that sympathetic narrative we were talking about earlier. See if that works for you in the midterms or in 28. And if it doesn't, you come back in 32 with a Brian Kemp or maybe Chris Christie or some other reasonable Republican. There's not many left. And then say, well, see, Democrats haven't fixed the economy fast enough. You need to put us back in power. We'll fix it.
They don't fix shit. I don't think that's going to work.
But they're good at running that narrative, and that's their best play. They don't have, they're not going to be able to run on the culture war bullshit. That's going to be dead and gone. Their only hope is having a Hail Mary making J.D. Vance a sympathetic candidate or conceding the election by running J.D. Vance and or Ted Cruz or whoever, and then going ahead and running a good candidate in 32, trying to go up against the Democratic president's record, rather than.
But the thing I'll say, by the time 32 comes around, a lot of my generation, a lot of people who started this, will be gone, and I think a lot of their base will be gone, physically. And I think the message is changing where that can work. You can't just say, we can fix it. Well, how are you going to fix it? Don't worry about it. That shit ain't going to work anymore. I don't see it. And that's what I'm saying right now. Let's say you're someone had said, let's say Trump doesn't make it through January. Okay, literally. And I'm talking about either impeachment or, what I'm talking about. How does J.D. Vance govern? Because Trump governs with fear. He's governed with fear that just broke. How is he
He's
governing
gonna
this mess?
he's gonna have to govern it like you should, like a politician. He's gonna. I don't know if it would be immediate, but let's just, for the sake of argument, let's say tomorrow they come out and they get rid of Donald Trump and he's gone by Christmas, right? JD Vance takes over. By June or July, fully expect the cabinet to be completely remade. Everybody there gone, except maybe Marco Rubio, because Marco Rubio's the only one qualified. JD,
Right.
when JD comes in, he's going to be able to get decent people potentially, even though they hate him. He's not Donald Trump. He doesn't have the same stench and the same stigma
Yeah.
of Donald Trump. He'll be able
But
to
he's
get
got.
decent people.
But do they trust him? I mean, there's just something there. Quick question. I want to ask Trucker something because because you're in the Midwest. You're in the part of the reddest state in the Midwest. One of them.
Yep.
Have they kind of looking at it differently now? Or are they still kind of down with the Trump agenda, or are they thinking they got conned?
No, that pendulum has swung, bro. You don't see as many. I mean, you don't see nearly as many Trump flags. And I was in the grocery store the other day with my wife, right? And it was two guys talking on one aisle about Trump, and it wasn't good. And that's normally not the case. And then we get up to the front, it was another couple talking about Trump, and it wasn't good. So you normally don't hear that. So the pendulum, it's swinging.
I was just gonna say the same thing. I'm in downstate Illinois. I'm in a pretty red area. It ain't looking good. They're over him. They may not say it,
And
but they're over him.
I saw a
Yeah.
town hall. I don't know if it was an Iowa congresswoman. There was a congresswoman, and they were hot as usual. And she was touting the line, right? And she brought up, she goes, Trump's done this, this, and this. And then they were all kind of heckling her. And then she brings up, yeah, but Trump got the Chinese to buy the soybeans. Did you hear that? That was the last
Yeah.
term, right? And all I heard from the audience is, when?
Yeah.
When is it happening?
Well, from what I heard on the soybean deal, and maybe JD might have heard more better than I did, but it was something like they were buying $20 billion worth of soybeans, or going to for this year. So Donald Trump fucked it all over. Now, supposedly he's got them agreeing to buy some for next year if this deal comes through. But it's only going to be like $12 billion. And he wants to call it a win. It's not a win when you're $8 billion short.
Right. It was something like that. I was under the impression it was 12 billion before the first of the year, and then 20 billion next year. But again, I have no idea because they have not bought anything yet, as far as I'm aware.
No. And that goes for other grains, corn, other exports are not been sold because of tariffs. And here's the thing: a report came on the New York Times, and I saw it. A report on tariffs has caused trade to go down and the American trade deficit to go up. That's not what it's supposed to do, right, Donnie? It's been a disaster, a total disaster. And no one wants to talk about, no one wants to. Look, when your Secretary of Treasury says the reason that beef prices are high is because of the Biden administration's open immigration borders, they were bringing their cows across with disease. That tells you what we're dealing with. He really thought people were going to believe that.
But
I mean,
yeah.
what the hell?
Okay, but here's the thing. If they were bringing cows across, now I know you said something about them being diseased and that being a problem, but if they were
Mad
legitimately
cow
bringing,
disease.
if they were literally bringing herds across, though, assuming some of them were fine, wouldn't more beef into the market equal lower prices?
They use the word Biden.
they're
I'm
they're
sorry,
trying
TJ.
to they're trying to extrapolate that they brought the cattle here to spread and the disease spread and it affected huge numbers of cows. That's what they're trying to do, which is absolute bullshit.
Yeah, and
Uh,
again, it's Biden. Every time they talk about the economy, is we tried to fix Biden. No, you cracked it. It was coming down. It was at a point after fixing the disaster he inherited, and you broke the economy because you wanted to make it your own, and you messed it up. And also, basically, you're looting the treasury daily. How much more gold can you put in the White House? Every day there's more gold. Did you hear you wanted to put a chandelier in the Oval Office?
I'm not surprised.
Oh,
Yeah, he
please.
want. Do you know why they couldn't do it? Because they told him the age of the roof wouldn't support the chandelier he wanted. He wanted to put a chandelier in the White House, in the Oval Office. I'm like, it's just crazy. This is why I'm afraid for us in the next 2 months. Only in the sense that it's going to get so bad. Can we recover from that bad? I
Oh, we
mean,
can recover. It's just going to take
but
time.
at what cost?
Time and
I
money.
mean, but that's that. Then it comes back to 40 years of economics. Are people finally going to give up on that shit?
I think so.
Finally, because everything I heard about the SNAP argument, I heard in the 80s from in the 80s about the welfare moms and the deadbeats and all that. They were all racial tropes, and it
Mhm.
came back. And I'm concerned that it's still there when it gets so bad. People are just they just don't want to spend the money. But it's going to have to be done. And people will have to get taxed. I'm not us. I mean, I'm talking about the upper, whether they like it or not in corporations. But
Well,
I'm, go ahead. I'm sorry, Eric.
well, the irony is you were right. They have to get taxed. The era where that they keep talking about that they generalize about making America great again. They look to the era of the 50s to the 70s, roughly, maybe even 80s, as being the best of times for America when you could afford to live and eat. One person could live on.
Hmm.
You could support a family of four on minimum wage, etc. Thing is about that time limit. That was when we were taxing the top 1% at 90 some percent.
Right. And a lot of it, and then you still had to have the war on poverty by Johnson in order to take some of that money and to help the poorest of the poor. Because that was the thing, you didn't have the poorest of the poor being helped. Too, that was under Johnson, which led to SNAP, Medicaid, Medicare. Those things came from the war on poverty. Where literally Lyndon Johnson took the racist Democratic Party and turned it over, flipped it. And but what Republicans did, instead of following and maybe good for America, they flew into that power vacuum and rode that hate until where we're at right now. I mean, those are histories. That's true history. I mean, Lyndon Johnson never gets the credit he deserves
Oh yeah.
as a legislature and as a president. He doesn't, and he should, because the only thing that cost him was Vietnam. That's why he got stuck. But it doesn't. That's what they keep trying to take apart. This is what they're taking apart now, and then they're moving on to the New Deal, which is Social Security. That's what they want. That's. I think people are hitting the wall because this is stuff we've been paying in for years. We're used to it. You sold us that that people of race or color are taking our money. Then the people are starting to realize, no, it's all of us. It's just not the people of color. Because understand the fact that we don't have universal health care, because they did not want to give it to black people.
Hmm.
And that's the truth. They didn't want to be included in it.
They could have done that during
And
the Roosevelt administration, but that's the only reason why they
exact
didn't.
the only reason. And you know, And that's another thing they have to talk about, the ACA. Hey guys, that's going to blow up in your face, Republicans. Even with the deal, when that comes, there's going to be a lot of people without health care coming up. And that's not going to go well for them in the midterms, too. You'll have to answer that question. And no, it's not going to be Trump care. My God, did you hear that?
Trump don't care.
Oh, God. And he wants to give people a stipend to give to the insurance companies. He has no idea that this shit works, does he? At all.
He does. I guarantee you he has never had actual health insurance in his life.
Oh no.
He's always been able to just afford to go to the doctor. He doesn't
Yeah,
know
right.
The government's not the whole premise of the only reason why the ACA exists is because Republicans refuse to do Medicare for all. And
Right.
It enables the government to tell insurance companies, hey, you have to make it within this guidelines of affordability. And
Right.
they did that a bunch of different ways. But like Donald Trump has no clue about that. Where I work, we pay $13 an hour for insurance as an individual. That's what our contribution is. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Right.
And here's the thing. Imagine this. Where I work, we do 1 million man hours of work every year. 1 million. So how much money is that going to the insurance companies?
Oh,
It's fucking fuck.
look, I'm finding out really quickly that even my work health insurance, that they sold me a pipe, because my wife has to have testing done on Friday for a biopsy. Okay, they have to do it. So we schedule the appointment. Then we get something from them, and the bill is $890. I'm going, what? And they finally ran it down. It's like, because the company, the service literally is $8,000, and we have to pay $890 of it. But I'm thinking, going, $8,000 for testing, and if something comes of it, I don't even want to think of the cost of the treatment. Myself, I have to do a valve replacement surgery. I don't even want to think how much that's going to cost me coming up. And I have insurance. That's how messed up everything is right now with this private sector, and they're making money off our misery, off our problems. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why that guy was removed from existence from United Healthcare.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I like some of the people were talking about. I had one person. I saw a video of one person saying, "Tell us." It talked about socialism and all that. Tell me one country where democratic socialism works. I don't see one in the world. Oh, okay.
Literally
Should we
all of
start?
Europe.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Scandinavia.
right.
Well, a lot of people
Go ahead.
on the right don't know what democratic socialism means, for one. But with
Mm-hmm.
universal health care, one of the things I've talked about a lot about it is some of the bullshit we have to deal with would be gone if we had Medicare for all, universal health care, whatever name you want to give it. Hell, if it gets it through, and we get an actual functional, done right universal healthcare system, and they want to name it Donald Trump Health, I don't care if it gets it done, because you can call it whatever you want. But one of the things that would be gone would be no pre-existing condition bullshit. There'd be no prior authorization bullshit. You just go to the doctor. They diagnose you. You wouldn't need to, one of the things that used to bug me is I hate going to the doctor just for that doctor, the general practitioner, to go, you don't need to see me. You need to see XYZ specialist. But you have to go to the primary care doctor first, waste part of your time to get the referral to go to the specialist, And then if you're lucky, you get to you have to find one that your doctor is willing to refer you to, because a lot of the insurance companies also own clinics, and they all work
Exactly.
together.
Exactly.
And you're not always are you, especially in rural parts of the country where I've typically lived, are you going to find a specialist that your doctor is going to refer you to? In some cases, doesn't always work with your insurance,
Are they in network or not?
in network or out, and all of that bullshit. There's too many hoops. If you went to universal healthcare, literally, you just go to the doctor, you go see whoever you need for whatever you need, get the medicine you need prescribed, you go to the clinic or you go to the pharmacy, you get your prescription, and you go about your way. And you pay whatever copay we've determined is the copay. And maybe even no copay, whatever the case may be. And there's no bullshit. But one of the sticking points that a lot of people on the right seem to think is when we are talking, it's the same thing that happens when you talk about free college education. They think when we are talking universal free healthcare that we mean the doctors don't get paid. We just got to go to the doctor and get it for free. No, the government just picks up the dime. They pay the check.
Yep.
That's all we mean. And sure, our taxes are going to go up a little bit, but the doctors aren't getting stiffed. And in fact, they get a flat rate for every person that walks in the door. They don't have to deal with any of the bullshit billing they've got to deal with. It would be so much simpler.
Right. But the problem is that doctors like to be like their money. A lot of them live really high. Okay. And you get flat rates, they freak out because that's what they're afraid of, because they cannot. And that's the thing. You need to control costs. You control costs by setting rates. And if you set rates, everything has to work within that. And the pharmaceutical companies don't like it because, yeah, your pill costs maybe $1 to make. We're sure as hell going to get 1,600% on it, though. That's the end. The greed in the medical system is literally killing us all. Literally killing us all.
Yeah, I agree
And
with Eric, about the specialist. I hate that. I mean, if they're in
yes.
network, why can't you just book an appointment and go? Why do I have to
Oh,
spend money with the first doctor to go see the second doctor?
oh, it gets better. My appointment today, I saw the cardiac specialist, and then at the same time, I had an appointment with the cardiac surgeon. I had to pay a copay for both those guys for one appointment.
See, that's bullshit.
I know it's bullshit. My wife said that's bullshit. I know it's bullshit. But I'm like going, but they're the same, but
They're in the
that's the
same
way
fucking
it
room
works.
with you.
Exactly. And I saw them for about 10, 20 minutes, maybe, before I had to schedule everything I'm supposed to do in the next 2 months. But the point is and like my wife right now, she has a possibility of something serious. We have to go Friday to get this biopsies done. That's $890 out of our pocket. And then comes the results. And here's the thing. They told us we had to pay it up front. And my wife called and goes, look, I get my FSA because I drained my FSA. You don't know what the guys know what that is. That's money you get up front to pay your medical bills through your job. And you pay it weekly. It's a spending plan. I have that. But it's exhausted. Okay. So I don't get a new set until January. So she asked him, do we have to wait for January on a test that could determine if we don't take care of something quickly, something worse could happen. And they said, no, pay what you can. We'll bill you. Same thing for me. I mean, because I go, we can't pay what you can. So I got that, and I'll get the bill to pay it later. But what if they said no? What if they said no? And I have to wait till January, and then when they do the testing, you find out, oh, you should have done this 2 months ago. It's too late. How many people I just described are in that situation right now? Right now in this country. How many lives have been lost because of that stupidity and that ignorance and that greed? It angers me that to watch these Republicans talk shit about medical care for Americans, dismiss it because they don't have to worry about it. Because we pay their medical care fully. I
Yeah.
mean, no wonder Congress is a scam half the time. Yeah. By the way, Gen Xer Sooner makes a point. We send Israel $35 billion a year. They have universal health care. We pay for it.
Yep.
I mean, and then they get, but we can't pay for USAID to give grain to people who are starving in other countries. Because that's a waste. We don't want to support them foreigners. Of course,
Well,
that took money away from farmers, but here we are
I was
again.
just going to say that. One of the things that the people who are against the foreign aid part don't realize is that it is required by law. If we can supply the items we need and they can be grown here from U.S. producers, we have to buy from American producers first. Now, there are certain things, diet specific things for certain regions where we just can't grow those things here. If we're going to do things that involve like bananas or something, we can't grow them. So obviously we have to go buy them from a foreign country. But if we're just giving them grains, we go to American farmers first. And JD has talked about, and I think so did British John, that they have guaranteed planting contracts. That they go in through the season planning to plant up to so many acres with so much yield that was going to go to USAID.
Yep.
And Donald Trump comes in and goes, well, we don't want that. Fuck it all. And just destroys it all.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know how any of it works.
Yeah. That a lot of the time the grain is sold before the seed is put in the ground even. You know about how much you're gonna within about 10% how much yield you're gonna get off the field. And you have that amount in a contract already sold before you even plant the crop in the spring.
Exactly. And again,
they-
farmers, a lot of them are still protecting them.
Yeah, and I don't get it. By
isn't there-
cutting USA, they fucking buried a bunch of farmers by doing that.
Isn't there some kind of caveat on the price though? Like you sell it, you get a commitment, and then you sell at a price or something.
Yeah, it's called a basis contract. It's convoluted and weird, but
But it's guaranteed profit money, right, JD? Because you got your price. You don't have to worry about the market, right?
yeah, well you can lock in your price, but when you deliver the grain, they'll pay you the difference though. So it's
Yeah, the price is higher.
right. Whether you're above basis or below, that's what determines how good you do.
Why do guys still stay in farming now then? If they're knowing they're getting screwed like this? I know there's a lover to it, but I don't get it.
It doesn't. Well, we've been getting fucked since like the 80s, so this
Yes.
is nothing new.
Republicans,
Yes,
a shot.
exactly. And so
Then why the? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I really, really hope that this experience fucking over all the farmers is teaching the farmers what Republican governance does to them.
Because what bugs me is like every time something like this happens, it is Republicans in these administrations, and then when Democrats come in to fix it, farmers resent them, and they go back to the same people that abused them. I don't get it. I mean, like with the soybean things, you voted for Trump, you were going to sell your soybeans. You can look at your spreadsheets. How much soybeans did you sell this year as opposed to last year under Biden? 0. That tells you something, but you still defend this man who conned you, who took away your livelihood. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, the math doesn't make sense, but you're more concerned about what people do in New York and LA? Is that the issue?
Uh,
Culture
well,
wars?
I think it's
Go
more
ahead. I'm
about
sorry,
the
Chuck. Go ahead.
no. I think it's more about the messaging. A lot of the Democrats, they don't get out to those rural places like that because
Yeah,
they think they
exactly.
don't have a chance, right? Remember, Hillary
Right.
lost Wisconsin, and they said, "Well, if she'd just come out here and talk to us, we would, we would have voted for her." She thought she had it locked in, and she didn't come out.
Yeah. No,
Is that
nothing.
changing? I hope the Democrats are seeing that now on the
I think
ground
it.
there.
I think it is. I think there's a grassroots effort going on, but Trucker's absolutely right. People around here, at least, feel that the Democratic Party looks not only has just abandoned them altogether, but looks down their nose at them. A lot of people think that the
Okay.
Democrats think we're fucking stupid,
Right.
and,
And
and
that comes to the what I refer to as a latte liberal. And
right.
those are donor class Democrats that have had that message for years. Yeah, I get you there. But I get it, but I still don't understand if you vote for someone who literally takes away your business, why do you keep voting for that even if someone's looking down on you, but they give you your business? Does that make sense? Or am I reaching? I mean, I don't know how to say it. That sounded right.
Well, no, I know what you're saying. You're saying basically you got Donald Trump who's fucking up the economy and ruining your business, but you think he's on your side and he's not. Like he's one of you. Versus you got the Democrats who they feel are talking down to him. I don't know why they don't necessarily see the Democrats are actually on their side. But that is something I have talked about with, and I give Donald Trump the slightest bit of credit for doing right. And this is the only thing he did right, and he did it by accident because he's not a smart man. He doesn't use huge words. He speaks very simply and very plainly. Maybe he doesn't make a lot of sense in what he is saying, but he doesn't sound educated, which is why the rural Republicans are poorly educated. Sorry, JD, I'm not trying to pick on farmers necessarily, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I come from a rural area. You don't get the same high level of word usage out here that some of these Democratic politicians use. You know, when they come out and they throw out these large words,
Okay.
the multisyllabic words that you need, that sometimes you have to go to the dictionary to figure out what they're talking
Yeah.
about. If they spoke plainly and just showed up, that was the other half of it. You know, you talk about Hillary not going to Wisconsin. A memory I have during
Michigan,
the
too.
2012 campaign, Obama was here in Iowa.
Yes.
He was here campaigning. And, you know, Iowa was a swing state then. They were here. He was here multiple times, but I even remember being on the highway when his motorcade passed. And, you know, they cleared the highway. Everybody had to pull over because they were running both sides of the yellow 2-lane road, you know, and they were shutting every access point every which way, you know. They were blocking off gravel roads and everything, so nobody could get onto the highway for, you know, a couple of miles around him. But he was here, and that made a difference.
Yeah. And I think what you're trying to say, Jay, I think that makes sense because the message should be, because you have to admit when Trump ran this time, I'm going to make everything more affordable. How are you going to do it? I'm do it.
Yeah.
But there was but everyone wanted Kamala Harris to have a plan, but they didn't understand the plan. Okay, which I understood it, but I'm not. You know, I'm smarter than the average bear. But I think what you need to do when it comes to farmers, hi, I'm running as a Democratic candidate for your Congress. Let me ask you a question. Did you make money this year? No. Did you make money the last time a Democrat was in charge? Yes. Put me back in charge and Democrats in charge, we'll make you money again. How's that sound?
yeah.
That's the
That's a
message,
message that you
right?
can get behind.
That's
That is
pretty
the-
much it.
And that is
I
a
mean-
message that as Donald Trump says, he loves the poorly educated. That is the type of message that the poorly educated would get behind. And one of the problems with Kamala Harris, they didn't understand her plans in some cases because they were multi-step, bigger plans, and it wasn't broke down in simple terms. But also, there was so much damning things about Donald Trump that her
Right.
plan and her message got lost in the "that guy sucks" message.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I won't even just dissect that, but that makes sense, and you don't have to appeal to their intellect; you appeal to their money. I mean, you're a businessman.
Oh.
A farmer is a business person. Okay,
Yeah.
for all the platitudes people going about people of the earth and all that bullshit, you're a business person. Either you're growing the food to survive for yourself, or you're growing the food to sell and make money. You're a business person. And what does a business person want to know? Am I going to make money with you? Yes, you will. Are you making money with Trump? No, they haven't gotten paid for shit. No one talks about that. They haven't got paid for a damn thing, and they coming up on planting season again for winter wheat, if I'm right.
Yeah.
They haven't got paid for shit. What's going to happen then when you have to go and borrow money to plant? That's scary. Again. And no guarantee of a market. That's simple to explain to them. Maybe I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Democrats do in the Midwest other than, just run in fear. Because to me, that's the easiest thing to do. You don't have to explain anything else to a business person. I can make you money. Other
Yeah.
guy ain't making you money.
Not only that, but talk with the people. I mean, ask
Right.
questions. What are you concerned about? What do you want? What can the government do to make things better for you? That kind of shit. Like, take some fucking interest in people's lives.
But part of the problem too is like the last election is like, what will make you feel better? Get rid of all the Mexicans.
Right. And
How do you respond to that? Because they're so locked in on that, thinking that they were taking their money. Well, they kind of need them now. Now they're not here. I mean, how do you respond to that? Because that's the thing. You got to get through that culture war wall. Because that's all they
Yeah.
cared about. The saddest thing is that Biden made them money so they can look everywhere else to blame other than that. I don't know. It's a complex thing. And maybe simplistic is going to work, and maybe Trump crashing everything is the best thing for us. I mean, Hoover did it. That's how we got the New Deal. You have to look at it that way.
But he is Iowan.
Oh, Hoover?
Yeah, we don't claim him, but he's
Yeah.
Iowan.
yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
and that's a. Go ahead, TJ.
Now we're stuck with pervert Hoover.
That's one of the good ones.
Fat Nixon, pervert Hoover.
Oh, God.
Hawk
Nixon
has
was a
really
lot
good
of things,
nickname
but
for him.
Nixon was a lot of things, but he wasn't that. I have to say it. I mean,
He wasn't
someone. Say again, TJ? Tucker?
No, I said you're right. He was a lot of things, but he wasn't that.
I mean, the thing. Someone had mentioned something about Spiro Agnew. Do you know what Spiro Agnew did that got it, that he had to resign, let him go to jail, was worse than what Nixon did? Because Agnew was taking bribes as governor of Maryland. Agnew was knee deep, and Agnew was Trump before Trump, and got
And-
burned.
I believe part of their deal when they went in investigated him, he went into court. The vice president, he walked out basically with no sentence, and he was a free man, but he was no longer the vice president. He was gone, and that's how we got Ford. And then of course Nixon goes down, and well, we get Ford, but.
We get forward.
Uh,
That history, and the thing about it's like right now, I don't like living in interesting times, guys. tired of that crap. But I
Yeah.
will say this: in the last week, I have to watch Trump's power break that has kept the Republican Party close to him for 10 years. There's a satisfaction to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
And also it broke because of things that everyone. My wife lived in New York in her 20s. They knew what Donald Trump was. And the funny thing about Trump, he flaunted that in the 80s and 90s and late 70s. That was his lifestyle. All right? And he was doing perverted stuff even back then. Now it's caught up to him because, hey guys, he ain't what you think he is. And he sold you. And here we are.
That is the one thing Donald Trump has been good at his entire life, is marketing Donald Trump.
True.
He has always been good at branding himself, and he just took that branding idea and changed it into a political campaign. Is effectively what he did.
And now we go to. I'm worried about the end game because the end game, when this falls apart, like any regime like this falls apart, man, there's so many consequences and so many pieces that fall apart really quickly.
Yeah.
I'm just hope we can pick it up. Because when it falls, and let's say it falls, and then like the economy goes and everything, even if Trump's gone, there's no way the Republicans and JD Vance can fix it.
No.
They don't have the talent. They don't have the skills. They don't.
They could fix it, but to fix it, they would have to do multiple things that don't fit with Republican ideology, and that wouldn't get them reelected. To fix everything, they would have to shift farther left than the Democrats,
Exactly.
and they're not going to do that. They're not willing to do it, whether they disagree with it ideologically or whether they just absolutely just refuse because they're worried about getting reelected. One of the two.
Right.
Uh,
I mean,
it's going to take.
we're talking about Hoover. Same thing. Hoover had options. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it because he thought the economy would fix itself. It didn't. And that's why you ended up with Roosevelt and the New Deal, because they understood that and without a working class, someone made a good comment. It was a really good video. I wish I had kept it. He goes, we have these problems when the ultra rich get too rich and don't want to make sure that they keep everything they have, and no power to the middle class. Because the middle class is a threat, because then if you use, because they had their taxes, having them taxed at their level they should be, it's a threat to them because they feel they're feeding people they shouldn't deal with. And they go out of their way to change it, to buy politicians and to crash the economy. But what happens, it gets so far that they have to give up. Like you know what happened in the Great Depression when Roosevelt became president? You know there was a coup, right? You
Yeah.
know this, don't you?
Attempted coup.
You know this, Eric? Oh, you'll love this. So when Roosevelt became president and started to come up with the New Deal, many very rich people, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, and everything said, oh, hell no. We're not paying for this riffraff. So they came up with a plan to do a military coup. And they got a U.S. Marine, a war hero, to front them. Their idea was they
Smedley
were
Butler.
going to front Smedley Butler. And they were literally going to fund, was it 50,000 troops, JD? I think 50,000 Patriot troops.
I think
To invade?
something like that.
Yeah, to invade Washington, D.C. and take the president and force him out of the presidency and create something called like an administrator so they could stop the New Deal. And Smedley Butler went along with it, but until he said no. He sucked them all in. The irony, the sad fact is, if you're talking about January 6th, there were hearings, there was proof, and not one of those dudes went to jail or were charged with crime.
Well, that's
None.
that,
Swept
that's
under the rug.
because that's because Roosevelt sat him down and basically said to these rich guys, he had told them, he said, you will never do this again, or you will go to jail right now. No trial. And they said, nope, we're done. And then they walked out.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
There's
yeah.
there's a book on it, and I gotta find it again. But you read on it. It's amazing that if it wasn't for Smiley Butler literally standing up for the Constitution, it would have been. I won't even think the results would have been for World War II,
Yeah.
because a lot of those were pro-fascist guys too,
Yeah. Henry Ford was
and
one of them,
anti-Semitic.
too. Henry
Yeah.
Ford was one of them, and he was a
Right.
Nazi sympathizer.
So much history just what turns on one person sometimes.
So, Will, I got
One
a
act.
question.
Go ahead, T.
So once the president signs a bill into law, it becomes law, right?
Yes.
Does it take
Yes.
30 days or is it effective immediately?
I think there was a 30-day rider in the bill, right, JD?
Yeah, the bill gave 30 days for the DOJ from the signing of the bill.
Oh, just in case they missed something when they scrubbed it the first 3 times?
They're not
Well-
scrubbing it.
Part of
Did-
that 30
did-
days, though,
Go ahead, JD. Let's go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
well, part of that 30 days is that it is supposed to be compiled into a downloadable and searchable format. Like, this isn't just, we're going to hand you over the files. This is supposed to be like a compute, like, a spreadsheet or like, a PDF file or whatever. A big file where they can start searching through the database, looking by name, looking for dates. Like, this is going to be something where from what I read, it's not just a bunch of loose connecting evidence. It is going to be cataloged and annotated and all of these things. Like, that is part of why they had the 30 days in there.
They have to,
It'll be hilarious if it's a PDF file.
True.
Oh my God.
Irony at
They-
best.
they have to it almost sounds like they have to build a website for it or something.
Yeah,
Probably.
effectively, something
my
like that where you can
Well, I mean, there's
search.
isn't there like hundreds of thousands of pages of stuff?
Probably more like millions. Because didn't they already release like 400 and some thousand earlier this year and another 20,000?
Yeah, something like that.
Most of that
Yeah,
was all,
that was also
the first batch
it was kind of
already
like
public
sanitized too. And
The first batch was already public knowledge. But there now, to what Jerry's saying about the Epstein estate saying files have been sanitized. Here's the thing: there are other places with the files, like the Epstein estate. They're going to be doing all sorts of looking into and digging into it, and I guarantee you there are going to be members of Congress from both parties that if it looks like these things were scrubbed, would not hesitate to continue this congressional investigation and start releasing the real files, etc., and embarrassing this administration.
you know the irony of all this on the Epstein estate? Do you know who filed the original subpoena to get every one of those Epstein estate information?
James Comer.
James Comer. That dumb hick did it thinking that he was going to up the libtards, and then it brought those emails out that started the entire Bubba Mean factory. Oh God, that was the worst 2 days of my life to go down that road.
It's still going.
God.
It's still going.
I'm not sure which is worse, Bill Clinton or a horse.
I don't know, but I heard they was bringing a bunch of hay to the White House.
Oh my God.
How many times with your hoof, please? Now, the
Yeah.
testimony of the horse. How many times?
Plop, plop, plop.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
I plead the fifth.
That was too easy. I'm sorry, that was too easy. Oh my God. But I mean, that's what started the embarrassment. And the point is, here's the thing too, Eric, like you brought it up. if Democrats go, hey, this is wrong, we need to investigate, and Comer steps in the way, oh, that ain't gonna look good. It's not gonna look good. They set themselves up for a lot of shit,
I
right?
fully expect Republicans to get the fuck out of the way with this. They're gonna let the chips go fall where it may, at least congressional Republicans. And if the files have been scrubbed or they have been sanitized or anything, it wouldn't surprise me. We've been talking about Republicans turning on Donald Trump and removing him. That may be the bridge too far. Maybe they turn on, maybe they try to go after Pam Bondi first or whoever. They are going to turn on this administration because it is politically expedient to do so, especially with the midterms coming. Primary season is right around the corner. I think some of the first primaries in the nation, I think we're looking at February, March, April.
That's going to be a big bellwether for both sides, both parties, to see how this is going to roll.
Well, it's something I've been thinking about too. Is like, if like with the Nixon thing, the bigger deal was the cover up. That was bigger than the actual crime. That's what they were
Sure.
going to get him over. And so I think what they're doing now is they put the ball in Trump's court, and they're watching to see what he does. If he tries to dick with it in any way, I think that's what they're going to get him on.
Who wrote the bill? Who wrote the actual bill to make this become law?
Thomas
I think it
Massie.
was the Massey, right? Massey?
Yeah.
So he might be the first one they try to sacrifice.
You see, this is what they get for. You know where this has come from, right? Because they took Massey out of his intelligence chair. They screwed him
Part of it.
because he wasn't MAGA enough, and he hasn't forgotten paybacks. You know what?
Karma's a bitch.
He is. This is that. Don't do that
Well-
to an ally.
And then you got Marjorie Taylor Greene, who wanted to run for statewide seat, and they told her no. Well, now she found a cause that she can champion. And I'm not saying she wouldn't have been on the side of doing this all along, but she finds it easier to break with them because of all of it. And you know what? As long as she's willing to be on our side, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what?
Or keep your
We'll-
enemies
we'll-
close and your friends closer.
Exactly. We will, we'll take advantage of her being willing
You
to
know
help for at least a while.
But the irony here is that here in Georgia, she can't run for a state office. They're not going to vote for her. There's no way she can get out of that. It's
Doesn't
impossible.
mean- well, but now she may have a chance. She may have more of a chance. Now that she's rebranding herself away from MAGA, coming around saying, better ideas, being more moderate. She's trying to rebrand for a potential either statewide or nationwide run to
Yeah.
be a moderate.
Don't
Doesn't mean
forget-
she's still not a crazy MAGA fuck.
Right. Don't
But-
forget, she's even quoting what's her name, Jasmine Crockett. She's using her own verbiage.
No fucking way.
Yes, she did. She used it because somebody asked Crockett about Marjorie, right? And Crockett says, "Well, I see her words. Well, no, she said I hear her words, but I want to see her actions." So
Yes.
they asked Marjorie. Then they asked Marjorie about Trump, and she says, "I hear his words, but I want to see his actions." So
I'm going to say
This
this
is
really
an
straight
interesting
because I
dynamic.
think it's appropriate for the last 2 days of things that Trump has done. We're related to Marjorie Taylor Greene. You can put pearls on a pig, but it's still a pig. Okay.
that's what Obama said. Just like putting lipstick on a pig, it's
Yep.
still a pig.
And I mean, obviously, you know what I'm related to. That's how far down the American presidency has gone. When a president can call a reporter a pig, and everyone goes, "It's just Donnie being Donnie." Jesus God, people.
No, that was the dementia destroying his filter.
Yeah, because that was him not being able to mask who he is deep down,
Yeah.
and that sounds like something he would have probably said years ago. Schoolyard taunt of another kid, right?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
I have been excoriated by someone with Alzheimer's. That is exactly what it was.
Oh, a TIA moment.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
call it locker room banter, blah blah blah. He's just rude and repulsive, is what he is.
Yes.
Let me kind of put it clearly with locker room banter, because I hear that shit all the time from people. If you're in a locker room and you talk shit to another person like that, it's going to get ugly. There is no excuse for it in a locker room. You know that. All you guys know that. If you get into someone who's like that and you talk like that, people are going to end up flying against lockers. That's not acceptable, ever. I'm sorry. I mean, they talk about like we all accept. No, we don't. And them fighting words a lot of the time. I mean, that's one thing about men is that we only take so much. So, for what it's worth, I mean, I find that so weak, it's pathetic. Because I know what happens in a locker. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt real bad when you do that shit to other people.
What I
So-
didn't understand is, so the rest of the press corps just fucking stood there and watched it.
Because
They didn't
they're
say
fearing him. It's time. That's the thing. Washington press used to not to fear the president. Their job was to trip the president up or
Yeah.
make the president, to get what they wanted. They're all sycophants. There's no true reporters in there. They're all a bunch of what? Right-wing things.
Well,
And it's just not good.
well, they're afraid of them doing what this administration has done to everybody else. Revoke their press credentials. I want them canceled. We're going to take them off the air. All those kind of things. Even if they haven't been successful, these reporters don't want to fuck with any of it. So they're just going to go along to get along and just, okay, we'll let them do it. We'll get our clip. We'll write the bad story down the road. We just won't say anything in the moment because then maybe we will fly under the radar and he'll never see the piece we wrote.
But with this power break, are they? I mean, if you talk about that, let's talk about having Jimmy Kimmel. He came back and he's still strong. He went after Seth Meyers and NBC went, huh? We don't know. Because they don't want that shit. Because people
They
don't
want
like that. No. Because the thing about Americans, we like to basically make fun of the president,
Yeah.
talk shit about the president. And if you think, well, that's just recent, no, that goes back to George Washington, folks. From day one. That's who we are. And,
Yeah, how many jokes
You
is
know-
out there about George W?
I mean,
oh, God, yes.
this is an old political comment, but I want to say, it was Jefferson and John Adams when they were running against each other. And I want to say that Jefferson referred to John Adams as a hermaphroditic little man or something like that. Like, I mean, this has been something that has gone on.
Face it, the forefathers talk shit. I mean,
We get
the
it.
thing about Hamilton, it might have been a musical, but it was kind of true. They talk shit to one another. They were hardcore.
There's an exchange. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the musical 1776 about the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And anyway, at one point, John Adams is getting into it with another member of the Continental Congress. And this guy, he gets this guy's goat good, and he starts banging his cane down on a table. And Benjamin Franklin kind of perks up and goes, "Must you start banging? How is anybody supposed to get some sleep around here?" And well, the guy says something about being referred to as Englishmen or something, and Franklin goes, "Well, believe me, to hear you call us Englishmen, I would much rather be called be asleep. Being called an Englishman is much like being called calling an ox a steer, or an ox a steer a bull. He's grateful for the honor, but would much rather have returned to him what is his."
Yeah, that's.
And the guy that was banging on his cane on the desk goes, "So tell me, Dr. Franklin, when did you realize they were missing?"
Oh, jeez.
Yikes.
But
I mean, I know it was all
Yeah.
written for laughs and it was just a musical, but the exchange just shows you we've had these kind of things in
And that's-
politics forever.
And forever. And the thing about it is like for them to consider making fun of the president treason is ridiculous to all of us. We laugh at that. That tells you how hardcore those people are. I mean, come on. This is something we've done. I mean, I think about Bill Clinton. Who played Bill Clinton on SNL? Phil, who passed away, the actor. He'll come to me. He was perfect.
Well, Phil
All
Murray.
right. Oh no, not Phil. Phil Harris. I want to say Harris, but sadly died. His wife took him out.
I can see it. I was,
Yeah, Phil Hartman. Thank you, Phil Hartman. I appreciate that, Phil Hartman. Yeah, he was perfect. I thought the best one was when Clinton got elected. They were in a restaurant, and the Secret Service guy goes, he goes, we're going to pop in here in this restaurant. He goes, and the Secret Service guy goes, hey, Governor, I don't think we shouldn't do that. What are we going to tell your wife, Mrs. Clinton? And he pats him on the face and goes, this is not one of the few things you're not going to tell Mrs. Clinton, all right? Let's go. And I'm like, shit. They were just like, I mean, but that's what you do. You don't get upset because South Park does a bit on you. Of course, it was pretty brutal and probably accurate, but you don't get mad. You go with it. And it's go ahead. I'm sorry, T.
Hey, no, I hate to change the subject on this one, but it just popped
Okay.
into my noggin. Did any one of you guys see the post I put up? I think it was my last post about the 5 guys down in Texas who was arraigned or charged with terrorism by being Antifa because they were messing with some detention center down there. So they charged them with the T word and said they were part of Antifa. And since he designated that a T group, now they're going to face those heavy charges.
Good luck proving that in court.
I thought Five Guys made hamburgers.
These 5 guys would have been better off making some burgers than what they did. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's going to make a mockery out of them.
Yeah, it's just a joke. They're not going to be able to prove that. That's so stupid.
No. I mean, we're not talking about the Chicago 7 here. Come on. It's not. It's just sad. I mean, we live in a world of an irony right now, where we're literally a reality show that most networks would have canceled years ago. I mean, because of the ridiculousness. I mean, all you have to
Will.
say again. I'm sorry, T.
It said that they confessed to being Antifa. So I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was me. I did it.
What was
I
it? The
did it.
guy with the mask and the ball cap that was on Fox News?
Yeah, that guy.
Oh God, what a joke that was! Oh my God. I mean, just and they now we don't buy it, but the hardcore Fox News watchers just sit there and just with the straw, they suck it up. They love that stuff. They've been weaned on it forever and decades. And I swear, one of the first things once everything turns to regime and get back to a normalcy is reinstating the Fairness in Media Act and stick it to Fox News finally, because this lying this lying has to stop. Someone had put down here that Politics Girl was going to be on the CNN roundtable. I don't watch those CNN roundtables. You know why? They're useless because they get Scott Adams? Who is that guy? The real MAGA guy. They just drag someone out there to say stupid stuff, and then the other side responds to them. You're not accomplishing anything, and you just give the far right a way to blow-fate their bullshit. It's a waste of time, as TJ put in there. It's a waste of time. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, what we're doing here, we're all like mind. I think we do more what we talk about, or we talk with Mike, or we talk whatever we do our videos than any 15-minute bit on CNN, because I'm done with MAGA. Every time I see a MAGA, like a live come up, MAGA, tell me why you like Trump. I can't wait to press not interested in his live creator because it's a waste of time. It's the same arguments.
Yeah, I don't get into him. Well, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
So, with all of his stuff in Dubai, like those two big ass hotels that they're building, and now Argentina, do you think he's like setting his bed because he knows that this shit is going to go south and he's got to go somewhere where he can be comfortable?
You mean is he going to go like what you know who did at the end of World War II?
Yeah,
Ratline?
just disappear. Yeah.
I would say yes. Any other normal person is not suffering with dementia and delusions of grandeur. But for Trump, and we were talking about it, if they present him, hey, resign for the sake of the country, he would basically tell them to go F themselves because he doesn't quit. You have to force him out.
No, I mean,
Watch.
he
Go
get
ahead, I'm sorry.
charged with all that stuff. Like, just say for some miraculous reason, they push his ass out and he's getting ready to get charged. I think he's going to run because I don't think he'll face it.
He'll run.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to live long enough for that, honestly.
If he does,
And if he does, yeah, he probably would find a country that doesn't have an extradition treaty with the United States. But on a health note, if you look at the man, okay, he is not there. He's
worn.
slowly but surely, time has caught up with him. Time is catching up with him. And you know things are bad when they ask him about an MRI, and I don't know what part of the body they did an MRI on.
Yeah, well, but
But it
here's
was the
thing.
greatest MRI ever
Thank
done
you.
that a doctor ever saw.
Thank you.
I have
Okay.
I have a suggestion.
Mhm.
I do believe that Venezuela is a non-extradition country, so maybe he should go there.
Over and
That
go there.
would be hilarious. But
Oh my
I
God.
laugh at that.
Yeah,
because he said
I
that
know
I
I
go,
just tried to bomb the shit out of you, but can I move there?
yeah, I mean, here's some money.
Yeah.
Bygones be bygones.
I
you
always
know.
thought that's why they were paying Argentina. They're setting up their escape fund or something.
Yeah. And also, if I don't know if he'll pull the trigger on that, because that would just not look good. And I don't think Congress is down for that. I think even Republicans will not support that. Because he's trying to sell this Maduro as part of his drug cartels. And he's not. There's no drug cartels. There's nothing. They know it. They
Right.
see it. DEA is investigated. Drugs do not
Mhm.
run through Venezuela, guys.
Hey, did anybody
Nope.
see that tombstone that says when it happens, and they had a picture of a pig on it, right?
Well,
And the caption
that seems
says, "Quiet, piggy."
That
well
sounds like
that
it came from Gavin Newsom's account. Oh
that
my.
seems legit. It seems legit to me.
I was going to send it to TJ, but I was scared that TikTok will get me for sending that.
Now you're gonna get you. Send it to me in the messages. They won't get you.
They're
Yeah.
gonna have trouble getting grass to grow on that dude's grave. All the people pissing on it.
Right? It'll be the most acidic soil
Brown.
ever. Right, JD?
Yes, sir.
I think they're going to have to, honestly, if for Trump, it gets to that point, they're going to have to go Bin Laden on him. Just for the
Hey,
sake.
I had to fucking bail JD out the other night. He was fucked, and I had to bail him out.
You mean on a live, or did you have to
No.
fly to Illinois?
No, in real life, JD can tell you what happened.
Oh God.
I had to fix a water pipe that had burst, and I had no idea what the
Oh.
fuck I was doing. So I called TJ.
TJ.
That's right.
He fixed
Those
it right
things are
though.
the worst.
I gave him instructions and he followed them correctly, so it worked out.
Yeah.
Just
Was it a
watch.
PVC joint or just a whole pipe
It
went?
was no, he soldered copper. I was impressed.
JD,
Oh, wow.
watch for the mail. I guarantee there will be a bill coming.
Yeah, I'm watching for that.
And was it after hours?
Yeah,
Keep
two
Was it
six.
after hour rates?
Yeah, it was like
26
it was like
260
6 o'clock this time.
260, 250 an hour, motherfucker.
TJ, I figured your bill would be a bottle of Malort.
Yeah, 5 hour. Hey, JD, 5 hour minimum.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah,
Who
he
drinks Malort?
Literally nobody. Don't ignore that.
May God have mercy on your soul.
I just got a
That's just another version of what's some Mad Dog 2020 or Everclear.
Ew.
Oh my God!
Listen. I got a UPS box today from, well, I didn't order it. Rebecca ordered it, but I got a UPS delivery today and opened the box. You know what was inside?
What?
Two Malort Advent calendars. And they have, no, I'm not even lying. I'll fucking show you if you don't believe me. They have little fucking compartments that you open up, and it has a little tiny bottle of Malort in every fucking day. I'm not even joking. I'll fucking show you.
Oh my god.
I'm not even kidding you guys. I'll fucking show you. It's so funny.
I don't even know what that whatever it's called. I don't even know what it is, and I'm glad I don't.
It's a Chicago staple. It is like a licorice type
Ew.
stuff, and it's this. One person described Malort as the taste of sorrow.
What happened?
Add some grief in there with it too, yeah.
Yes.
My camera won't reverse, but here you go. Look.
Oh,
dear
man.
Lord.
And then you
Oh,
open
dear
it up.
Lord.
You open it up. See, look at that shit.
Oh my
It's a little
God.
It's a little bottle of Malort in every fucking day. I'm not even joking.
Oh,
Perfect.
She's nuts, man.
that was that. Okay. Well, it's been nice knowing you, TJ. We'll see you hopefully next year.
Hey, TJ, blink twice if you need help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. I've survived
Because
a
the
lot
old-
of Malort nights.
Oh God. Okay, I'll stay with tequila, but I don't do that anymore. I'm too old for that shit. That shit will lay me out now. Well, I'm glad we went on more Malort rollings. That's good. I feel better now.
Hell yeah.
My liver hurts. The worst, one of the worst videos I saw was some 20-year-old kid taking shots of Everclear.
Oh,
Ugh, gross.
awful.
And someone was watching him who's a Gen Xer going, watching this guy. I'm going, no, dude, don't stop. Just please stop. Just stop. Oh, God, stop. Please don't
Depends on
do
what
it.
state you're in with Everclear.
Well,
because
that's- that-
go ahead, DJ.
No, you go. Go.
Melanie
gonna say-
Stansberger was her name. God, I butchered her name.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you.
Yep.
What I was saying here in Iowa with Everclear, like 10, 15 years ago, they legally changed the allowable.
Yeah.
It was marked down to like it can only be 151 proof, not 191 like it used to be.
Right.
It's still not new, but some states you can still get the 191.
Oh my God.
That's like
Even at
glass.
151, it's still fuel. You can light the fucking thing on fire and it'll burn.
I mean, I hope you're not
Probably run your
smoking
car
while
on
you're
it.
drinking. Oh, good Lord.
Hey, that's the trick at our Halloween party. The Jello shots, the purple ones are always Everclear.
Oh,
Oh,
I will try to remember that if I ever make it out there.
Don't eat the purple
Ouch.
Jello shot.
Purple ones.
The purple
my
got
God.
it. Thanks, TJ.
alrighty. Well, watching how this political discussion got out of control, I love it. And the thing about it is that all of us who are older in this room are reliving all the things we did in our youth at that moment and going, damn, just damn. Someone asked me,
Right
Go ahead,
before
go
I
ahead,
went to the
T.
military, they wanted to send me off, right? So they
Right.
got me a case of, I think it was Little Kings or Little Mickeys, whatever the fuck it was. And
Oh, Mickey's
Mickey's.
the barrel?
Mickey's grenade. You got Mickey's grenades, bro?
yeah, we got a whole case of them bitches, and we've got
God.
5 of those Mad Dog 2020, the grape kind,
Oh,
and
no.
we just chased and oh my
Ugh.
God. I was when I got to the MEP station, they said, "Are you sure you want to do this today?"
Jesus. Oh my God.
I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm here. Let's go." Ended up in infantry.
Oh, my,
Mad Dog 2020.
Oh,
Oh
oh
boy.
God. I mean, again, I just have to say these words, and everyone's going to have the same reaction. Boone's Farm. Okay.
Fuck Boone's Farm. Go with
Would
that
you like to smell the bottle cap?
that gold slide.
Oh my.
Remember that bad boy?
What? Oh God, no, not that.
Ah, had the gold leaves in
And
it.
never ever will I ever do Jägermeister again, because that one
No,
memory
fuck
from when I was
that.
a kid. Never.
Ugh.
Can't do those.
That
No.
is just
Yeah.
no.
No.
Uh-uh.
Long Island iced teas got me. When they were $1 at the fucking bar, you can give them a $10 bill
You're done.
Oh my gosh.
for the
You're
month.
done.
And then
when-
if you really want to be a man about it, drink it with a straw,
See,
straight up from the bottom.
JD missed everything. He missed quarter drafts. He missed all this shit. Now it's
Yeah.
like fucking $14 for a fucking rum and coke.
Yeah, he missed
Oh
it.
God, yes.
Yeah.
I drink at home.
If I want to go out for a night at the bar, I got to take out a fucking loan first.
But here's the thing that they put in the bill. Remember on the bill that they took that they're going to ban THC in a year. Okay, the gummies, because that's a cheap way of getting high as opposed to alcohol.
Right.
And
Donald
they want to get rid of it because that's just insane. And that's another thing that's going to come up as I think
Mitch
in the
McConnell-
midterms.
Mitch McConnell's behind that. You know that, right?
Yeah, he took $900,000 allegedly from lobbying.
Yeah, because Kentucky, of course, makes all the bourbon, right?
They want everybody pickling their livers.
So since Donald Trump fucked Canada and Canada said fuck you, we're taking all your booze off the shelves. Now
Right.
now Kentucky's getting fucked on their sales because bourbon sales are way down. That's all Mitch McConnell.
But you know, people are going, no. And that's going to come with the midterms. Trust me, if you want
Right.
another
No,
thing to
yeah.
run on, I'm going to make sure THC that you can get your gummies. Okay? Because the thing about gummies, and I realized that the amount of a gummy is easily 2 times what you used to do with paper. Really, it is.
I know it is.
And I'm like, woo!
I saw a
um,
video, Will, the other day
Hmm.
of this guy. He says, "What happened to all my cookies?" He said, "Your mom ate the cookies."
Oh
He
my
said,
God.
Shit, where's mom? Mom's outside in the yard with a cape on. She's got a pot on her head. She's swatting a bat at ghosts.
Hey, I got a funny story about that shit. Listen, so this is so funny. I used to date this girl, and her parents were big time hippies, right? And so her parents, they put in the freezer these pot cookies that were like for cancer patients. I don't know how the fuck
Uh-huh.
they even got them, but they were like high potency marijuana fucking cookies, right? And they were in the freezer. And she was at home the one day, and she's like looking in the freezer, and there's all these cookies. So she took out 3 cookies. You're not even supposed to eat a whole cookie. She
my
ate
God.
3 of the cookies out of the thing, and she was like freaking out, hyperventilating. They had to call the paramedics, and the paramedics came there, and they were taking her vitals, and they're laughing. And they said, "Did you consume anything or whatever?" And her dad was like, "Oh, you didn't eat any of the cookies in the freezer, did you?" And she's like, "Yeah, I I hate 3 of them. He's like, what the fuck?
Oh my
She
god!
was totally fucking blitzed because she ate those fucking
It's,
cookies by accident.
and mom
It's
and
so
dad are
funny.
going. She's not going to the emergency room. No one's
No.
calling the police.
No,
Okay, we're all
she
going to
was
chill.
totally.
Here, honey. Here's a bag of potato chips. I'll get you more later. Take a
Yeah.
seat. It's all going to be
She
good.
said, she told me she sat in the same spot for 7 hours.
I believe it. I believe it. Oh my god!
Oh, dude.
And that's the thing is like that's our youth hiding from it, and now it's out in the open, and these old people like Mitch McConnell want to go back underneath. It's just like dude. What Mitch needs to do is to take a few gummies himself,
No, because
which would get him upright again.
No,
He's
he
gonna
Again,
stall.
up now. He falls
No.
all the time. You don't need that.
He's
shit.
gonna stall if you give him a gummy.
He's gonna stall.
It's gonna be like a fucking freeze frame. You know what I mean?
So that's what those glitches were then, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's taking gummies.
It's the old Windows. It's the old Windows
Yeah,
XP.
it'll be like the
You have to
fucking thing spinning like this. Mitch McConnell will be above his head, spinning
Yeah.
like this in a fucking circle.
Oh,
You say, TJ, he's gonna be
Do you
starting at
want
buffering.
Yeah, it's like this.
Yeah,
Right above
buffering.
it, like this. Right above his head, like this. Buffering,
or you get the
buffering,
message.
buffering.
Did you want to report this incident to Microsoft? I remember that. Oh my God. Jesus. Oh my. Okay. See, the good thing about politics is that occasionally you have to go and remind ourselves that life was a little better for all this bullshit happened.
Well, that's
with
why
everyone.
that's why I come in here and fuck everything up.
Yeah. But the
Hey,
good
who
thing about
remembers the
stories and
80s?
stuff is that it tells you, and I wonder about a lot of these people who support these craziness that we see here. Did they live like us? Did they
No,
get
they did
like
not.
some joy in their lives?
Who remembers the 80s,
Uh,
Will? They don't remember the 80s. You know what I mean? That's why. The 80s was the shit.
Well,
As a matter of fact, so
I-
much so
Tr-
that they're bringing Sizzler back.
Fuck yeah,
Oh, I
Trucker
know.
had hair. Trucker had hair back in the 80s.
I had a Jerry curl
Sizzler?
back in the fucking 80s.
God, don't start me on Sizzler because I'm from Southern California, and that's oh my God. Anyone who's at the salad bar and takes the meatballs and put them in the taco shells know what I'm talking about.
It's coming back,
Oh
Will.
my God.
I saw it today. It's coming back.
Great, good. I hope it's the same. Because I mean, that's you get the steak because you get the salad bar with the steak, and that's what you want. It's the extra $5 or whatever it was. It was worth it. You take the steak home and you eat your meal at the salad bar. That's where it was.
Right.
Because that all
Where's
that good
Kim when
stuff.
we need her? Because she could look that up for us.
Oh my. Oh God, the whole. But see, that's good. Being old stuff is great, but you said the '80s, dude. I grew up teenagers in the mid '70s. Oh Lord, I could tell you stories.
Yeah, well, I
This
was
stuff.
born in '69. I remember the '80s.
Oh,
It was we had so much fun. It wasn't all of this craziness.
right.
We drank water from water hoses. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
riding bikes and playing basketball, just having a good time.
Yeah. How many of you have fallen off a bike without a helmet?
Oh shit, who didn't? How about a
Yeah.
skateboard? When you hit a crook or whatever in the sidewalk on a skateboard doing 70 miles.
Oh fuck. Yeah, I got fucked on skateboards so bad.
Oh no, I had a 10 speed that I coming around a corner. You had those little channels where the water ran.
Yeah.
There was a little water in it, and I slid, and the bike went this way, and I went that way, and I got up again.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know how I did.
Jane Ann said helmet in the 70s? Never.
No,
There was no
not.
helmets. Not even in the fucking 80s. Who are you kidding?
I mean, we did something I never forgot. My brothers and I did this when we lived in Los Angeles. We had a radio flyer wagon, the red wagon, right?
Red and white one. Yep.
Yeah, and so we had the house we lived in Los Angeles near the Coliseum had a ramp because there was a handicapped person that lived in the former house that was there, and so We climbed in this thing, and it was like a 45-degree drop down the ramp. And we went, okay, let's try this. And we went down the ramp, and we were going straight to the end. And then it turned over, lapped against the two poles, and ejected us into the yard. I never forgot that feeling because one minute we were doing this, next minute we were doing this. And it still was probably the best moment of my life because that was so good.
Remember that
Never
lap?
do that.
Remember the lap seatbelt? That's all you got was that
Oh,
fucking when you go
yes.
across your guts.
Yep.
Those were the days,
Who
man.
had a seatbelt? I mean, my dad had a 53 Plymouth. No, yeah, Plymouth. I could get my fat body in between the rear window and that spot. You know what I'm talking about?
I know
The
exactly
plat.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, so much room. My God.
Remember the
I mean,
rear-facing seats on the station wagons where you could look at the cars behind you?
yes. Yeah, the original SUVs.
Yeah.
You dropped it on. We had a Ford Country Squire. Thing was a tank with
Bro,
those
the thing
seats.
had the wood panel sides. Remember that shit?
Yes. Hmm.
You were rich.
And
TG. We couldn't afford the wood panel side. We had a Pinto.
No, that was my grandpa that had that shit, not me.
Coming from a rural area, riding in the back of the pickup truck.
Oh, all day
Oh
long.
Yes.
yeah, we
Rocks
do
and
that all
dirt
the
all day
time.
long.
Hell yeah. Don't forget, I'm from Helena,
I mean,
Arkansas, so we did all of that shit.
yeah, backwards. And that's, I mean, those are things, but I won't. My kids grew up in the 90s, okay? The 90s. And they did stuff because it wasn't that crazy, but it's a little different world than we did because statistically, we shouldn't be here. The majority of us. We I think we got lucky on the statistical, bell curve.
Well, you know how many
But
yellow yard darts hit me in the damn head, in the neck, in the shoulder, trying to catch that damn thing?
if you want worse, do you remember the thing that looked like a bomb that you put caps in? It was steel, and you put caps in, and you dropped it to make
Make a
noises like a
popping noise.
bomb.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but you got to release it. Don't hold
Don't
it
hold
when it
it.
goes off because that really numbs a lot. Just so you know.
It does. And I put in the comments that my dad used to smoke us out the car, windows up. He could give two shits. He would put one out and grab another one. I'm like, come on, man.
Yes.
What do you
Oh,
light it with? What do you light it with the butt?
Yes, exactly. Who
Yes.
needs a damn car
Yeah.
lighter?
So you've been there, done that, JD. For sure.
Oh hell yeah!
I don't know how many times, speaking of the car lighters, as a kid, how many times, inadvertently burn off your fingertips or your fingerprints.
My ass. I touched
Oh
that bitch
God,
on purpose
yes.
10 times.
Yep.
I can still smell
I mean that.
the burned flesh on my hand from that.
Yeah, that opening scene in Deadpool where he sticks that thing in his mouth. I'm like going, for all of us who had messed with car lighters as a kid, I'm going, oh hell no.
Yeah, your skin
Oh
instantly turns red and white with that circle, and then you can just smell the burning flesh. All day.
oh
You've got that fucking spiral burned into your hand, your finger for a little while.
yes.
That's what it was.
Yep.
You
I
can't
mean,
do that now because they took the cigarette lighters out of the car.
They're
There's
freaking
no
gone.
ashtrays.
Yeah.
You've got fucking 17 seat belts. You got side airbags, front airbags, top air fucking bag. We didn't have none of that bullshit, man.
Yeah, until you get. I mean, it's just. But then again, the car was made out of steel.
I
If you
remember I
remember.
saw a commercial. It wasn't even a commercial. It was a news thing where they were complaining about not being able to drink and drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must have been out of
I,
Louisiana, right?
Yeah, they were like,
Did,
"This is bullshit. I should be able to get off work and crank a six pack and go home."
Yeah.
I mean, I think, do they still have drive-through daiquiri places in Louisiana?
Doubt it.
Which is legal as long as it's in a plastic cup with a lid. Um, yeah, it's all good. I mean, it's just
Wow.
great. It's. I mean, but the point is, we laugh at it now, but I swear to God, with my kids are growing up. Oh no, you're not doing that. Oh hell no, you're not doing that. Why? Because I know what might happen.
Well, wait a
I
minute,
know
Will.
what might
Did you just
happen.
say it was legal as long as it had a lid?
Yes, what it was, you go to the drive-through
Wow.
daiquiri place. It right the drive-through. They give you the daiquiri. It comes in a plastic cup, and you could drink it while you drive, as long as you had a cup, a lid, and a straw.
Good
If the
Lord.
lid was
That
off,
is
that's an open
ridiculous.
container.
I know what I know what Will's talking about because that's what the bars did here during COVID. They'd give you drinks outside and with a lid on it, and they put a piece of tape where the straw
Hmm.
goes on it, and then hand it to you. And you just take the piece of tape off and you stick the straw in it, and you can drive around with the motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Right, that's not an open
No
container.
joke.
Nope.
That's true.
The lid's on it. I didn't take the lid off.
Yeah. They
Nope.
give you the thing with it was a sealed container when they gave it to you. Of course, once you get it and you take the tape off, then you put the straw in, motherfucker.
Optimistic says Louisiana still has that. That is why their insurance rates are ridiculous. Take it from someone who knows.
Yeah.
Wow, they still have that. Oh Lord.
I miss those days
Ooh.
because back then we didn't have all of this shit we got now. Yeah, there was prejudice. Yeah, it was racism, but that shit was hidden. You know what I mean? We were able to live our
Yeah.
lives. Now it's right in your
Right.
face.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I know that we knew it was there. We kind of not accepted it, but it was what it was, and we fought it the best we could. It's just that now it's become, what's the word I'm looking for? It's become an industry
Yeah.
for these guys. They're making money off it. They've made elections off of it. I mean, the thing what we're watching with ICE, as we get back to reality for a couple more minutes here, guys, because it's 11:30, and I got to explain to my wife what we're talking about drinking for the last hour. Um, is that the sad thing about it is people I think the majority of people are prejudiced. We all have prejudices, right? But when we see something that's going on right now that doesn't make sense to us, that's just cruelty. And those who accept it are cruel. They're always going to be cruel. Those are the guys you never want to hang out with, and that's why they're running around with masks and weapons. And why do they have to have masks? Are you ashamed of what you do?
Question, Bill. This is a good. I'm glad you brought that up. Why does it feel so much different in North Carolina? The ICE raids, like for some reason, it feels different there. Like people are like this one hits home more for everybody else than it did anywhere else, and I can't wrap my fingers around that.
Maybe because it's the South, and people they expected the South, even North Carolina, to be more accepting, and they're finding out, and from someone who migrated to the South, is that they will say stuff about people outside the neighborhoods of the states, but when you come back and fuck with their people around them, their neighbors, they ain't gonna hang.
Yeah, you
And
see
that's
the
what
comment
pisses
down
off.
there, Will.
Yeah. Say again?
You see the comment that's down there. She says, "My daughter lives around Charlotte, North Carolina. She is sick about what's going on."
Yeah. And that's why a lot of those people are out in the streets. A lot of them are open carry. And a lot of those ICE agents are going, I thought we were coming as heroes. No. The one thing about Southerners that I've known, they consider that an invasion. And they got an invasion thing. You know what I'm saying? They're not down with it. And the best video I had was that 79-year-old lady coming out with a weapon
You got that right.
because she hired two guys to hang Christmas lights. Hang like they come. And the first thing I saw, someone said, they called her out and goes, "Yeah, they're in the yard." What do you mean? He goes, "ICE is in our yards." And she comes, "Oh, okay." She comes out with the weapon and tells him, "You got to go. You're on my property." And those guys didn't say a damn thing to her. They saw that lady with the weapon, and she called it her safety, and they left because they saw in her eyes they had 5 minutes, if not less.
Right.
And And a lot of these guys are challenging in videos, challenging people with open carry. They're challenging them. They say, yeah, what are you going to do? And a lot of those guys are going, try me. Try me.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, because a lot of those ICE agents, let's be honest, a lot of them are probably from those areas. Because there's a report that ICE agents are getting in, have showing up in Charlotte Police Department and being hidden.
Yeah.
So there's people in
Yeah.
the police working it.
Didn't they
All right.
unalive somebody in North Carolina already?
Not North Carolina, in Chicago.
No, I thought it was North Carolina. Also,
Yeah, because she got. But here's the thing: that person who did it is on the run. They disown him.
this
He's
is
in
a
Maine. They're
whole-
looking for him now.
yeah, no. This is another instance.
Well,
Where
not yet. I haven't read
this-
that one yet.
This is another instant. No, I know about that one, but this is a different one.
I haven't read that one. I got to find it. Where'd you see it? T? Was it on the news?
Yeah, it was on
On
the
the
news.
feed?
Yeah, it was on the news.
Okay.
It was a lady. It was either a lady or a guy landing the road. I don't know if it was an accident. They didn't say it was a pew-pewing, but they were trying to bring her back, and she wasn't coming back. And I remember them saying that they've only been here for a couple days, and this is what happened. So
Holy crap! There's going to be a reckoning for these guys. They're not going to enjoy this when we
Yeah,
get.
they're going to go to prison. Yeah, they're going to go to prison.
All right, and they're all going to say I was just following orders. And
Doesn't
one
matter.
no matter. And Mike made a good comment the other night when I did did his podcast last night. And I would think we're going to end with this. We were bringing up Pam Bondi, and he said, "Do you know who John Mitchell was?" I go, "Yeah, he was Nixon's AG." Who went to jail? John Mitchell or Nixon? Mitchell went to jail. And Pam Bondi thinks that she's hot shit right now. Dear, you're going to jail.
can you imagine that, Will?
You're going. Can I imagine her going to jail? Yes, release her. Oh,
Lord.
No,
I mean, and then you know who's going to be
Like they all
next
do.
in a cell next to her, or another cell? Cash Patel. You're going to jail, and because you're a grifter. Oh yeah, Christy Nome. We heard about that $220 million kickback for the advertisements. You're going to jail. You guys don't get it. The only person not going to jail over this is Donald Trump. Because either he's got immunity or he ain't going to be with us.
except the immunity decision only applies to legal actions that were part of the presidency. If there were things that he was doing that weren't outside of the scope and they
Right.
weren't legal, the immunity might not apply. But I don't think it matters. I don't think he makes it
Yes.
to 2029 when the Democrats are going to be around doing these investigations.
And here's the thing. If J.D. Vance has become president, he's going to clean house with the cabinet, like you said. And if he cleans house, those guys are targets, and open targets. And if you're talking about J.D. Vance getting some goodwill, oh yeah, the new AG, we're going to start filing some charges.
So what do you
And
mean?
see what
by you
happens.
Cleaning house? Are you saying that he wouldn't keep the current staff?
No, because I wouldn't, because they're sycophants, and they will stab him in the back the minute they get a chance.
If I
Okay,
was
so
J-
then that would be even worse for him if he let him go because now they're on the outside looking in, and they could. Ooh,
yeah, but if I was JD Vance, the only one I would probably keep is Rubio. He'd
Yes.
be about the only one. The rest aren't like they're unqualified, they're unserious. Hegseth gone, Pam Bondi gone, RFK, Dr. Oz, all of them gone. He would bring in his own people. And what I'm thinking is going to happen, I don't know that he would turn his DOJ on any of them unless the right person got to him and gave him good advice that, hey, you really want a chance to get reelected in 2028, you've got to turn on Donald Trump and his administration for all the shit he did. But see, if they go that route, they may lose the MAGA base. If they keep it to where they're only looking into stuff related to Epstein, they could save the MAGA base. They're going to be trying to walk this tightrope as best
Yeah,
they can.
but the MAGA
yeah,
base is what, 30-something%?
33%. Yeah,
Is it worth
30-some%,
it?
yes.
Is it worth it?
Not for 33%, 33 and a third.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
But if
so he's got to ask this. And also, he's a tech bro. Peter Thiel's going to want a part of that, but Peter Thiel's name's about to come off on that list. Trust me,
yeah,
he's in that. So
Seen how many private
good.
jets have been taken off these last couple of days?
Yeah, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Amazing, isn't it? So, but with that, guys, I'm going to call it a night because then I have to go and explain to wife, what have you been doing for the last hour and a half? Nothing. It's all been good.
Remember
But
that old commercial, Will? Nothing, honey.
nothing, honey. Right. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Guys, thanks for showing up. I appreciate you guys. It made it real fun. Those who joined us, thank you. You can reach me. I'm here at RJ12664 TikTok. I'm on Substack, Binder38US. Same with YouTube. If you want to reach out to me, kumquat6@outlook.com. I do have a paid subscription on Substack. If you want to help me anytime, that's great. But other than that, you guys, it's been a good laugh. And I haven't had a good one in about 3 weeks. I
Right.
appreciate you all. And more importantly, guys, remember, there are more of us than there is of them. That's the damn truth.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
guys, have a good night. Be safe and no MP 2020.
Malort for life.
Aye.